I got this, a Ouija board. It will help me figure out the code for his locker. There must be a few strands stuck on the fancy hairbrush that he kept inside when I suddenly saw... Man, I can't believe I'm second to him again. We'd been literally swapping first and second place on every leaderboard since we were kids. Ugh, so unfair. Look at him. All he did was partying and pulling silly pranks, yet he's still on the honor roll, while I had to study day and night to maintain my straight A's. Mom's taking quite long. What's that commotion over there? This calls for a celebration. What do you guys think? Olive Garden? Yes! Geez, can you keep it down just a smidge? Come to think of it, people like Harry just have it all, while I only have Mom by my side. Oh, she came just in time! Dad left us for another woman a while ago, so my mom had been struggling every day being a single mom. She must be really sad and lonely, so I'd never mention Dad anymore. Poor her. The more I felt for Mom, the angrier I was at Dad. Only my bestie, Izzy, knew about this, 'cause, you know, it's hard to open up when you're from a broken home. Luckily, there's one thing in this world that could raise my spirits, as well as my heartbeat, in these dark, gloomy days. My dreamy crush, Cameron. Last year of middle school was coming to an end, so I gotta make a move with Cameron fast. The problem was, every time I got close to him, that party pooper appeared out of nowhere to make fun of me. He kept calling me melanin, 'cause that's what you lack, and bothered me nonstop. We had never gotten along, but seriously? What's wrong with him lately? He picked on me way too much, and why only me? I can't believe everyone thinks he's a model student. To me, Harry's no more than the most annoying bug. All right. Hair, makeup, pearly white teeth, check. I'm giving it another go today, waiting for Cameron at his locker with my love letter in hand. As soon as I saw his gorgeous face, I took a deep breath, then put up the sweetest smile, but all of a sudden, someone messed up my hair from behind. Ouch! I turned around to see the culprit. Harry! You look hot. And it generates electricity, too. Now you can charge your phone with your hair. Thank me later. Oh my god! Nobody should see this Medusa hairdo. My plan to confess failed again before it even started. All thanks to that clown Harry. Wait, isn't that my dad? He was walking out of the principal's office with a much younger woman and a boy my age. From what I gathered, they're saying that his son would go here. Seeing how my dad's starting a new life with his new family, I couldn't help but feel sorry for Mom. This is all that woman's fault. If she just disappeared, things could go back to the way they were. But that's merely a wish, and me and Mom just have to put up with this boring, unhappy life day by day. Voodoo for dummies? Was some higher power listening to me? This sounds like an answer to my problem. I ordered the book immediately. I started studying all kinds of spells and rituals in it as soon as the package arrived. Voodoo dolls? Interesting. The next day, I went to find Izzy ASAP. Hey, I'm thinking of using a voodoo doll on my dad's new wife to bring my parents back together. What do you think? Does it really work? I don't think. Yo, Wednesday. Sorry. Yo, knock off Wednesday. Harry Silver, you are so dead. But wait a second. You know what? We can test it out. Harry would be the perfect guinea pig. What? Him? He's just being his playful self. What if voodoo actually works? Harry doesn't deserve it? Well, I don't think so. Let's make a doll for our little preppy boy then. Crocheting a doll's easy. However, the tricky thing was getting my subject's hair, and you bet I won't get physically close to Harry even if someone pays me to. So I got this, a Ouija board. It will help me figure out the code for his locker. There must be a few strands stuck on the fancy hairbrush that he kept inside. Ugh, but none of the combos worked. This is the 10th time already. How about this? There we go. But there were only books inside. Boring. Then the soccer team's changing room it is. I will definitely find something on his uniform. Let's see. Harry Silver. There it is. Aha! Gotcha! I was about to flee the scene when I suddenly saw a boy with only a towel around his waist. Ah! I sprinted to the door and dashed straight through the hallway. That was close. Okay, I still had a voodoo doll to finish. And it's done. I excitedly show Izzy last night's work. Pretty good, huh? It has Harry's hair, too. What? How do you know it's really Harry's? What if it's somebody else's? Well, Hey, did you hear some perv with panda eyes was creeping around the boys' changing room yesterday? Go away. But don't worry, starting today we'll take turns guarding the entrance to catch them. Oh, what a coincidence. You fit the culprit's description perfectly, Melanin. But you're definitely not that pervy, are you? I was so mad I felt smoke coming out of my ears. I wish my gaze could kill that brat. Mel, you're squeezing the doll's arm. It's gonna come off. Whoops, my bad. Next time I saw Harry, he had bandages all over his right arm. Hang on, did I do that? Feeling guilty and curious, I approached him. Hey, what's wrong with your arm? It's been in pain since yesterday for no reason. My doctor said nothing's wrong, but I kept feeling like someone's squeezing it really hard. Ugh, there it goes again. Oh, spooky. It means the doll is truly magical. I immediately came running to tell Izzy, and of course, she was shocked too. But hold up, nosy Artie? How long has he been standing here? This guy clearly had heard everything. He kept reaching for my doll. No way. He'd tell the whole school about it. Then suddenly, Harry sat down next to me. Melanie, my arm hurts. Feed me. What's he pulling now? Can't he see I'm in the middle of something? Right at that moment, Artie snatched my doll. Leave it to me. No, Artie, no! Not with milk in his mouth. Oops, sorry, I felt so nauseous all of a sudden. That was more than enough to make all of us firm believers. But maybe I should stop. I do feel guilty for dragging Harry into this. That afternoon, when I was about to throw the doll in the trash can, I saw Cameron walk towards me. Did Christmas come early? Hey, I was wondering if you're... Yes, I've been waiting so long for this day. An occultist? What? I mean, Artie was going off about a voodoo doll of yours, so I thought you might know a thing or two about love spells. But if that's not true, I'm sorry. What do you need a love spell for? Then he revealed he wanted to put a spell on his crush, Regina. So all this time, I had no chance with him at all? But hey, a love spell sounds like a brilliant idea. It could ensure my parents' reunion too. Sure thing, but I'll need your hair as well as Regina's. Also, some of your personal items for the spell to work. Obviously, I'll use his stuff, but in a love spell for me. And you know what I gave him? It's all junk with some of my poodle's fur. A few days later, I found a gift box in my locker from Cameron. My spell worked! I'm about to have a boyfriend and reunite my family. But before I could carry out that long-awaited plan, Artie came to me with a difficult request, making a voodoo doll of Brad, some transfer student who already established himself as a vicious tough guy. That sounds dangerous, and I already promised myself not to use voodoo anymore. Don't believe me? See for yourself. Then, I followed him and witnessed another student being picked on by a much bigger guy. Hey, isn't he Dad's stepson? Okay, this Brad guy deserves it. So I agreed to help Artie. The next day, I approached Brad after class where he usually messed with other students. I managed to sneak up behind him and get one strand of hair. Oh no, busted! I quickly put the hair in the doll. This better work. Come on! Why isn't it working? And why now? Pesky little thing. Stop! I know those voices. Thank goodness. Touch her and you'll regret it. Yeah, we'll call the police. Brad just scoffed and left. Phew, what are you both doing here? And Harry, I thought your arm hurt. Then Harry and Izzy finally told me that voodoo had never been effective. Izzy knew that Harry only picked on me because he liked me. That's why she tried to stop me from using voodoo on him. But she couldn't, so she then told Harry everything. To be honest, I found your attempts quite amusing, so I acted like they were successful to humor you and myself. I was gonna stop though, but when you were being sweet to me and asked about my arm, I decided to keep it up. Oh my God! My bestie had been friends with my mortal enemy all along. Behind my back? Am I a joke to you? Why are you here? To make fun of me even more than you already did? Because I got worried when I heard you're going after Brad. Melanie, you're the smartest girl in school. I don't understand why you're doing all these dumb gimmicks. Yeah, you've been acting strange lately. Since when are you superstitious? What other choice do I have? Voodoo or at whatever cost? I need to get my parents back together, and that punk Brad is my dad's stepson. He deserves whatever comes to him for ruining my life. And you know what else? Both of you, get out of my sight for good! Then I stormed off. After that day, I no longer talked to Izzy, and Harry's relentless pestering finally stopped. But honestly, it felt a bit empty without them, especially with the upcoming school field trip. Of course, I'm still coming. Who needs them anyway? This is the chance for Cameron and I to be closer now that we're talking on the regs. It's gonna be the best trip ever. I'd never been the outdoorsy type, but does camping involve this many physical tasks? Almost done. What on earth is that? Isn't he under my love spell already? I mean, he even gave me a present. I was still in shock when Cameron came over to help with the tent. Thank you. No need to. I can't thank you enough. That spell of yours worked wonders. What does he mean by that? Then, out of nowhere, Izzy tapped on my shoulder. I've tried to tell you. Those two have been flirting for a while now. I guess Cameron just needed your spell as a little spiritual push. That means none of these has ever worked? There's absolutely no hope of bringing my family back? Feeling devastated, I burst into tears and ran off. I was running without looking and bumped into... Brad? Melanie, right? Just who I want to see. Or should I say, my dear stepsister. Your mama sent you here. Let go of me and piss off! I wonder how pathetic she had to be to have her husband walk out on her. If this was any other time, I would have fought back. But after all that just happened, I've lost all of my will to do anything now. Out of the blue, I saw someone charge at Brad and land a brutal blow on his face. I said I'd make you regret touching her. I had to stop Harry before he messed Brad's face up beyond recognition. It's time we got out of here. Why did you come help me after everything I said? I'm kinda used to your coldness. Besides, my love language is following you around and teasing you until you notice or get mad at me. Silly. I know. On a different note, I thought you knew that voodoo was useless. Yeah, so I thought of a love spell to get my parents back together. Then my family will be whole and happy again. But I know it now. There's no such thing as magic. Why not? Magic is alive and well inside you, and it is called forgiving. It cannot punish those who hurt you and your loved ones, but it can help you let go of your pains and sufferings. What are you trying to say? I mean, no magic can make your dad come back, but someday the pain he caused you won't ache anymore. Eventually, your mom and you will heal and lead a fulfilling life without him. I never took this goofy guy for the philosophical and mature type, but I guess he's right. I'd been so caught up in my own bitterness that I didn't realize moving on was an option. When my mom picked me up, I decided to finally ask her about my dad. Unexpectedly, Mom told me that of course it was sad at first, but she's actually doing fine these days. Life's supposed to have its ups and downs. As long as we welcome them with open arms, everything will turn out all right in the end. After all, your father will have the life he wants, while we get on with our lives. Turned out I was the only one chasing the past all this time, when what I actually needed was closure. Mom's words were more than enough to put this grieving period behind me. My last year as a middle schooler was quite eventful. Brad was no longer a problem since he got a taste of Harry's fist. Did I mention that we became a trio of best friends? For now, at least. Harry never stopped his shenanigans, but instead of getting annoyed like before, I found him quite adorable and endearing. Oh, just kiss already. Izzy!
I did try making friends with the other kids, but it never worked out. Ah! Don't eat the cookies! They're poisoned! Despite all that, Mom and Dad found their work meaningful and put a lot of effort into it. Well, maybe a little too much? I guess the reason why they're so emotional is because they know what it feels like to lose someone dear to them. My little sister Leah's missing, and it's all my fault. We'd searched for her everywhere for 5 years, but still, no news. It was a terrible time for my family, but instead of showing us support, the neighbors spread absurd rumors about Leah's disappearance. Some said the devil took her, while others said we sacrificed her during a satanic ritual. These heartless people were never going to change their minds about us, so I decided to just go along with it. This is why no one dares to bother me, as they don't want to be cursed. Ouch! Oh, sorry, miss. We're just trying to catch that bird. Please don't curse us. Jesus, that poor little thing. If you hurt an innocent creature again, I'll turn you into one and see how you like having stones shot at you. Blood drained immediately from their faces as they screamed and bolted. I carefully took the bird out of the bush, then brought it to my forest house. This is my secret hideout deep in the forest. I have my own garden where I plant herbs to heal injured animals. This isn't a wild bird. It even has a name. Must be someone's pet. Okay, Sky, so you like to sneak out, huh? The world out there is dangerous. I should bring you home. I followed the address on Sky's tag and took her there. Guess her owner wouldn't be happy if they thought a witch had cursed her, so it's better not to show myself. No one wants anything to do with a witch. But no matter how annoyed or scared they acted, I just don't care. Having the place to myself has its perks. But then out of the blue, a guy slumped on the chair opposite me. How dare he? I could feel his eyes peeking at me. Another idiot wanting to test his courage. Hey, Sage, right? We're in the same English literature class. But in case you didn't know, I'm Mark. Why should I know your name? Oh, I just wanted to... If you don't want to get diarrhea, sleep paralysis, or skin rashes, don't ever talk to me. Then I turned around to leave, but tripped over something and fell forward. You alright? This is crazy. Who asked him to do that? Then I came home to find an angry crowd in front of my house. Those eerie sounds are keeping us awake at night. What kind of dark magic are you practicing? Your black sorcery made my curling iron overheat and burn my hair. Must be some demonic influence messing around here. Turns out, strange things were happening to every house in the neighborhood. So these superstitious people blamed everything on my family and even wanted to kick us out. We can't move. We have to wait here. For Leah. She's with the devil now. She's obviously not coming back, so go away. Never talk about my sister like that again. Get out of here. Coincidentally, there was a loud rumble of thunder right at that moment. Horrified, they started pointing and calling me a witch. Go home, everyone, for your own safety. I'll take it from here. This man is Mr. Thompson, the town's mayor. He came with an offer to help our family move away in peace. Believe me, it's best for everyone. If and when your daughter comes back, you'll be informed right away. After he left, my parents seemed to be thinking about moving away for real. What's gotten into them? We didn't do anything wrong. Why do we have to leave? I'm not going anywhere. My parents might be weak, but I'm not. I'll wait for my sister here. She promised me she'd help me care for those poor creatures. She will be back. Achoo! What was that? It sounds like a guy's sneeze? Who's there? Show yourself. Ugh, you idiot. Come out alone. Both of you. Now. Those two look familiar. Right, they're Meg and Nick, the infamous best friend duo in my school. It turns out they were curious about the strange phenomena happening at Meg's house too. They wanted to see if I was really using witchcraft to cause all that. We didn't expect to see you healing animals here. Why do you let people think you're a witch? They can call me a witch, an alien, or whatever. I don't care, as long as they leave me be. I hate it when people annoy me, which is what you two are doing now. Quit following me and never come here again. But they didn't leave. Instead, Meg told me about a black rose that always appeared at the scene. Of course, it reminds the townsfolk of my family. Nick thought that made no sense. I mean, if it really was us, why would we make it that obvious? Someone's clearly trying to frame us. That's it. If I found that person, my family could live here in peace again. We'll investigate together. We can catch the bad guy and be heroes, like a detective squad. Sounds like you've been watching too much Scooby-Doo. And why aren't you guys scared of me? Actually, I'd make a great Daphne. And come on, we just saw you feeding the cats. Even if you are a witch, then you must be a kind one. The next day, I was going downstairs when I heard some chattering noise. Are those angry townsfolk back? I was about to scare them away, but I saw my parents warmly welcoming Meg and Nick. This is the first time I'd had friends come over, so my parents were overreacting. I hurriedly pulled my so-called friends out of the house. I guess disturbing me has become a habit to you, huh? We didn't know how else to contact you. Anyway, we'd like to introduce you to an IT expert. He's agreed to help us. Then suddenly, a guy standing behind the black rose bush appeared and said hi to me. Isn't that the guy from the library? This is Mark, the newest member of our squad. Good to see you again. I hope you'll remember my name this time. So, this Mark guy was really serious about this. He's now telling Nick how he could get data from all of the cameras in the neighborhood, which sounded like some kind of alien language to me. Look, our tech genius found something. Mark is awesome, right, Sage? I guess? Someone hacked into these houses' networks and was causing their electrical appliances to go haywire. And every night at 11 o'clock sharp, the camera would be disconnected. Not for long, just enough for someone to place a black rose at the scene unnoticed. Can you track down that hacker's IP address? Yes, and also their coordinates. That's Clara's house? Wait, Clara? The drama queen who always plays up everything about me? Does she hate me that much to target my whole family? We reached out to Clara to talk privately, but she flat out denied everything. What is wrong with you? Did this witch hypnotize you into becoming her slave? Blink twice if you need help. We have proof. You can't get away with this. Are you threatening me? This is illegal. I will tell my father about this. You think you're a big deal just because your father is the mayor? Big enough for you to watch out. She's the mayor's daughter? What's with that smug attitude? Everyone in this school remembers how she embarrassed herself last year after Mark rejected her. You may not know this, but Mark is the most popular guy among the girls in our school. It doesn't matter. I'm not interested in those girls. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I don't even care. The atmosphere suddenly became weirdly awkward. Well, now the only way is to stalk Clara and catch her red-handed. But we've been sitting here for an hour and nothing's happened. This snooping scheme is so silly. I was about to leave when Mark stopped me. Someone was coming out of Clara's house. Gotcha. Still trying to deny it now, Clara? Mark took off his mask, but who's this man? He suddenly flung out, then attacked Mark and ran off. We were about to chase him when Mark cried out in pain. Meg and Nick told me to take Mark home while they chased after the guy. I brought him home. This house looks so familiar. Oh, this was the owner's house of Sky, the bird I'd saved. Mark explained he'd seen me bring Sky back and was impressed with the note I'd left on how to take care of its wound. I knew everyone had been wrong about you, so I wanted to thank you and be your friend. I'm not someone who could make friends. Then I quickly left. The next day, Mark helped us arrange a meeting with Clara at the cafe where he worked. When Clara heard about the man coming out of her house last night, she seemed shaken and said he was probably one of her dad's staff. However, when Meg asked her for her help, Clara refused. We hit a dead end again, but Mark said he already had a solution. Before he could tell us, the cafe owner appeared and told me that spooky stuff was happening and asked me to leave. The holy statue, the town's symbol, was broken, and they found another black rose at the scene. Meg and Nick immediately jumped to my defense, but he didn't listen. He also forbade Mark from hanging out with me, or else he'd fire him. I'll leave now! See? I'm not good at making friends. I only bring them trouble. I dashed away so no one could see me cry. However, suddenly, someone's hand grabbed mine, then pulled me onto the bus just as it arrived at its stop. Mark? What are you doing? He'll fire you! I quit. That kind of boss doesn't get to fire me. It's all my fault. Don't worry. I have a ton of different jobs. Waiter, dog walker, even babysitter. Anything that makes money. What's the money for? This bus will take you to the answer. We got off at the last stop, an orphanage. So Mark was donating the money he earned to these orphans. Promise me you'll show them your true kind side. At first, I wasn't sure if I could, but then I gradually opened up to these sweet kids. Suddenly, I saw a familiar figure watching other children having fun from afar. Is that Leah? My sister? Turns out, 5 years ago, a lost kid was found wandering by the bus stop. She was so scared that she couldn't remember anything about her family. She only said a few separate words like funeral or dead people, so the nuns thought her parents had passed away and took her in. During her time here, she couldn't blend in with other kids. Seeing how Leah pushes others away, I saw myself in her. She shouldn't live her life the same way I do. I then called my parents and they came to pick us up right away. Oh boy, it surely was the tearful reunion of the century. Thank you so much. We only found Leah thanks to you. I'm glad to help, but that's not all. I've got something else to show you. As it turned out, Mark bugged Clara's phone at the cafe. It recorded a call she had with her father, exposing him as the culprit behind the town's mishaps. It appears Mr. Mayor wanted to build a shopping mall, but he needed to clear up some space for it. Using my family's bad rap, he played spooky tricks on the townspeople to scare them into selling their homes for cheap. When Clara found out the truth, she begged her father to stop, but he refused to. Meg and Nick posted the recording on the internet, causing outrage among our town. The cops arrested him, and my family's name was cleared. All our neighbors apologized to my family for letting their superstitions blindside them. My parents were obviously touched, so they forgave them all, and threw a party. So my family was reunited. Not only did I find my sister, but also 3 good friends. Well, maybe 2 good friends, and 1 more than just a friend.
How's it possible that I've never set foot in a place this close to me before? It's kind of dark and eerie. If only it was covered in flowers, then it'd totally be a Disney castle. Oh, someone's here. I went to say hi, but she didn't seem very welcoming. Stay away from this spooky place before it sucks the life out of you, young girl. So that means you're not working here anymore? The maid just shook her head before she hurried off. Here comes my chance! Hey guys, Jocasta here. And this Dracula-esque castle is none other than Mr. Joseph Williams. Are you wondering who that is? I'm curious too. All I know about him is that he's my parents' creditor, and I'm here to ask him to extend the deadline for their debt. But as one of his mates just quit, I could work here to pay off the debt instead, right? Hello, I'm Jocasta, your new maid. No answer. Should I just come in? If anything, the master should blame the old maid for leaving the gates open. So I had to find my own way inside. Hello? I'm the new maid. Master, are you here? No? Not here. Not here either. Is he still sleeping at this hour? Oh, there he is. Huh? He's not old and gray like I thought he'd be. I introduced myself, then he returned to his painting, and coldly said,
Work off your debt? Fine. Let's see how long you'll last. Just keep in mind, don't ever make me angry.
Oh, master, you're worrying over nothing. I wouldn't even care about you. But turns out he wasn't worrying over nothing. He's actually infuriatingly difficult. The curtains must remain drawn during nighttime. There must be absolutely no noise at all, and his bedroom is strictly forbidden.
Who gave you permission to sit there?
Oops, I forgot. I must keep a distance of 10 feet from him at all times, even during meals. Phew, finally it's time to rest. Though I've been working here for a couple of days, I'm still not used to Master Joseph's ridiculous rules. Huh? What's that staring at me? Ah! Rat! There's a rat! Help!
What on earth are you shrieking about at this hour? You dare to disturb my sleep?
Master, save me! There it is! It's coming! He stood bravely like a warrior, ready to fight the beast. Look at his broad shoulders, his hair, his chiseled face, and his every movement is so smooth. That hideous rat was finally running scared. What a relief!
You're making a fuss over nothing. Move to another room tomorrow. This one is too shabby.
Looking closely, my fastidious master looks kinda handsome, doesn't he? Well, living here isn't so bad now that I've got the hang of his rules.
Bring me a cup of tea.
Yes, master. Here you go.
Pass it to me.
Huh? Are we off social distancing now? I excitedly handed him the cup of tea, but he missed it and tea spilled all over him.
Clumsy dummy! Can't you look at what you're doing?
I hurriedly wiped the stain on his clothes and apologized profusely, but he roared again.
Stop! How dare you come this close to me? Get out!
Jeez, his temperament changed like the seasons. Hot, cold. Whatever. I'll just go home then. Indeed, no place like home. Oh, how comfy. I told Judy, my bestie, about my week working in the castle. Interested? Wanna come with me someday? No chance. Haven't you seen anything unusual there? Then Judy said rumor had it that a mad scientist once lived there, and werewolves too, as horrible howls could be heard during a full moon. You have to be careful. There's a reason why no one goes there. Oh no, it's today. Wolves howling under the moon? Never mind, Judy is just being childish. Who still believes in such fiction? Definitely not me. So, ta-da! I'm back again. Honestly, I need this job. I can't let him fire me, even if I have to cling to his leg and beg, but where is he? Should I opened the door to see him lying there, surrounded by dull paintings, while tools scattered everywhere. What happened? I tried lifting him, nudged him. Still, he wouldn't come around. Then suddenly, his eyes opened. Hey, the 10-foot rule doesn't apply because that was an emergency. Have you eaten anything since yesterday? As I thought, if you still want to kick me out now, you'll have nothing to eat. After that incident, Joseph seemed more at ease. He stopped threatening me with his rules and just let me ramble on. One time, when I was napping on the couch after cleaning, he even put a blanket on me. I haven't slept yet, dear master. Then one day, a middle-aged woman appeared at the gate. She introduced herself as Joseph's mom and gifted him a beautiful bird. But she didn't come inside and just sarcastically said,
Oh, my son's got a new maid again? This weird boy. So sorry for you, poor girl.
I brought the bird to Joseph, excitedly told him that his mom just dropped by. Look what lovely present she got you.
Lovely? That woman's just mocking me. I'm stuck in this place like a bird in a cage.
I think it's a thoughtful gift. You seem to like painting birds.
Stop prying. This is none of your business.
Okay, I'm sorry. But it's your own choice to isolate yourself from the outside world. Come with me. I have something special to show you. Oh, this place is still as gorgeous as the first time I came here. Looks like Joseph is mesmerized too. See? The world is beautiful. You just need to look. We were walking along the blooming flower path. Then suddenly...
He's coming! The wolf! Wolf!
Then all the gardeners immediately scrammed in panic.
What have I done to you, you morons? Beautiful, you say?
Then Joseph stormed off. I tried to catch him, but... Ouch! I tripped over a rock. Oh, it hurts! It frickin' hurts!
Then let me apply the antiseptic cream.
No, that will only make it worse. Maybe doing something fun could ease the pain. I'll be distracted from this. Please, can we watch a movie? And of course, he couldn't refuse. Oops, awkward. Clearly I didn't think it through when picking this rom-com. Wonder what my master is thinking. Oh gosh, there's no need to be that emotional. His scary appearance startled me. Eyes turned white, mouth snarled, as if he wanted to eat me alive. I tried to stay calm to ask him what was going on, but Joseph was like a madman, frantically smashing things and howling. Stop, Joseph! Please don't do it! Ah! My arm! Realizing that he'd just hurt me, Joseph seemed to regain his senses. He then ran off in a panic. I quickly hugged him. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Once he'd felt better, he started telling me his biggest secret. Since childhood, he'd had difficulty controlling his emotions, which often led to outbursts of anger. Later on, the moon also triggered this reaction after his stepfather passed away on a full moon night, and it then became traumatizing because Joseph feared he'd been the cause of his death. That was also the cause of the tension between him and his mother.
I think I was born with this strange condition. As a child, my stepfather used to give me some medicine to keep it under control.
His stepfather used to give him pills? Judy also mentioned the mad scientist who used to live here. Is that... I have to figure it out. One night, I sneaked into the room that Joseph forbade me to enter. On rummaging around, I found a tape that showed me the whole terrifying plan of his stepfather to regularly give Joseph a power-boosting pill as an experiment, and also to take him to the mountains to test out some new crazy invention. What on earth was that? But I can't tell Joseph right away. He needs to be mentally stable first. So I started off by taking him out for a walk, and when he felt comfortable enough, I suggested we go downtown together for some grocery shopping. He was just like a hedgehog, prickling up every time someone accidentally touched him. But, of course, I know how to tame this hot headmaster, just like this. There you go. Then we started tidying and redecorating the whole castle to liven up the mood of this place. When we got to the last room, his stepfather's, he seemed a bit hesitant. It's been so long. This room also needs cleaning, else the furniture may become damaged. Do you know anything about your stepfather's videos?
How do you know?
Then Joseph searched for a memory card, then gave it to me.
I was so scared that I hid it and never dared look at it. I wanted to destroy it once, but on second thought, it contains the last images of my stepdad, so I've always kept it here.
Huh? This wasn't what I meant. So there's another video apart from the ones I saw. This may shed light on everything. If you don't mind, can I watch that video? I'm quite curious. From that day, we never spoke of the videos again. Instead, we went for walks, cooked, and meditated together. And today's schedule is this art exhibition. Look at his surprised face. They look familiar, right? Don't tell me you don't recognize your own artwork.
It seems that each painting tells a story. I can't wait to know who the artist is. They must be an experienced and profound person.
I knew it. These compliments will help him erase his own self-doubts. Back from the exhibition, we noticed a delicious smell coming from the dining room. Who could that be? It was Joseph's mother. Joseph seemed surprised by his mom's presence, but I wasn't, because I was the director behind the scene. In fact, I secretly asked her to organize that exhibition. Watching the video cleared everything up. On that moonlit night, the mad scientist took Joseph to the mountains to test the effects of a super power-boosting concoction. But when he saw Joseph reacting abnormally, he panicked and ran away, so the accident happened. It wasn't Joseph's fault. He was, in fact, a victim. I told Joseph's mom the truth beforehand, which led to this touching reconciliation. Now that things were clear as day, they have untied the knot in their hearts. His mother decided to move here to help him overcome his trauma of the moon with me. Oh, he also told me about the time he dropped a teacup on purpose as an excuse to push me away, so that I'd be safe. How sweet and caring he is. Oh shoot, who left this curtain open? I hurried over to close it, when suddenly a hand gently touched mine.
Before you came, I really never thought I'd ever have the courage to face moonlight. But Jocasta, with you by my side now, anything feels possible.
Hi, I'm Celine, and I've called the St. Augustine Orphanage home since I was 6, but I'm not actually an orphan. You see, my parents are special agents with secret identities. Sweetie, if one day someone suspicious asks you about your parents, run for your life. I was used to these fleeting, ghost-like visits from my parents. They often took turns sneaking in and out at night, spending the little time they had with me, and always came together for my birthday. And even though I didn't see them much, they taught me some awesome skills. By the age of 12, I was fluent in 5 languages, could play a variety of instruments, and do a butterfly kick on anyone who needed it. Despite living a secret life and not seeing my parents as much as I wanted, I still felt lucky that I had them both in my life. It's my 17th birthday, a day I should be super excited about. You see, my parents always visit me together on my birthday, but I've been waiting here for ages and there's no sign of them. This was the first year this had happened. I didn't like it one bit. Something was definitely up. The next day in church, we were singing hymns when I spotted this strange man in the crowd staring at me. My instinct were telling me something was up, so I eavesdropped on him talking to a nun.
That girl with blonde hair. How exactly did her parents pass away?
He asked about my parents. That meant my life was in real danger. I fled with all my survival skills right away. What really happened to my parents? Have their identities been revealed? I didn't dare to think about it. So I made sure no one was following me before going to the subway and looking for a baggage locker. This was where I needed to come in a run-for-my-life situation. I waited until nobody was around before I opened it with my key. Inside was some money, a dossier documenting a girl's life from childhood to old age, and a letter.
Our darling Celine, we're very sorry that you didn't have the normal childhood you deserved. Please don't ever doubt that we cherish and love you with all of our hearts. If you're reading this, it means our identities have been compromised. We've included the documents for your new identity. Stay strong. We will reunite soon. You're a loving mom and dad. XO.
If my parents could arrange all this for me, I believe that they could handle anything and come back to me soon. So here I am, under my new identity, Diane. Australia, here I come. My parents left me just enough money to start a new life here, pay for rent, and tuition fees. How perfectly ordinary. Diane's parents were researchers away in the Arctic. She's from a basic family and attended normal public schools, then worked as an office accountant, did not marry or have children. Everything was boringly safe. The thing is, if I was going to be someone else, then I should at least be someone fun. So I didn't start school. Instead, I created and adopted the identity of 20-year-old Harper and started my first money-making idea, marriage on demand. With all I'd learned from my parents, I could make a whole lot of money and at the same time experience how a normal family would look like. Perfect! First, I became a Harvard doctor graduate so this privileged guy's parents would give him his inheritance. Next, a posh aristocrat who saved my client from a dreadful arranged marriage. And then, a sweet-natured girl who helped my client intimidate their seriously mean friends. As soon as my clients achieved their goals, the contract ended and we went our separate ways. Before I knew it, through my Harper alias, I'd married 9 guys in just 8 months and become eye-wateringly rich. But as it turned out, the cases I took were all abnormal families. This 10th contract would be my final case. Then I'd say goodbye to Harper and attend college as Diane before I lost all faith in ever getting the family of my dreams. But while driving to my rendezvous, I swear that car was following me. It could be my parents or someone dangerous. Only one way to find out. Now I just had to wait. If they were dangerous, I'd drive straight off this cliff, then swim to safety. Then I saw this gormless, grinning guy peer through my window. He held up a temporary girlfriend contract.
Hey, I just want to talk.
Could he be my 10th client? Either way, he seemed harmless, so I stepped out of the car.
I'm Carlton from the courthouse. You've sure been busy, so I've been assigned to investigate you.
As far as I'm aware, it's not illegal to marry multiple times, is it?
No, only if they're real and not marriage contracts.
Carlton, I only have one client left and I'm not marrying him. I'm his temporary girlfriend, which I believe is legal. So, is there any chance you could turn a blind eye this one last time?
Legal or not, I strongly advise you to quit this job and do something more morally upright.
Just then, a black car pulled over and a man walked straight towards us. Oh no, had they found me? I'm sorry for getting you into trouble. I turned around, ready to jump, but Carlton suddenly held my hand back.
No need for that. My boss won't eat you alive. Besides, I haven't told anyone about the contracts yet.
Oh, so this man's his boss from the court? Turns out he and his wife happened to see Carlton on their way to the airport and just came to say hi.
Hey, Carl, it doesn't say much if this girl would rather jump into the sea than date you.
He looked really awkward and I felt bad for the guy. Without thinking it through, I clung onto his arm and gave him my best adoring look. Actually, we're deeply in love. I'm an adrenaline junkie, but you know Carl, he's just so strict about things like this.
You're right, Carl is rather stiff. If you loosened up a bit, you may have been promoted by now.
After they left, I explained to Carlton that's what my job is, helping nice guys out of unnecessary trouble. Nothing immoral about it. I was about to leave when he suddenly stopped me. I could see his attitude changed.
Please, make a contract with me. I know you could help me improve my communication skills and get me promoted. You can see how desperate I am right now.
I wasn't sure. I mean, number 10 was meant to be my last client, but just look at that clueless face. Fine, but in return, you must be an attentive boyfriend, and I want to have dinner with you and your family every evening. Carl looked a bit confused, but he agreed to my demands. This was probably my last chance to experience a family life. I have a strict don't bewife two people at the same time rule, so I'm meeting my other client to gently turn him down.
Celine, is that you?
Celine? He knew my name? OMG, that's Matten, the genius pianist from the orphanage. Oh no, this was terrible. He could blow my cover. I was adopted and go by Harper now. My adoptive parents turned out to be a letdown. I had to fake my identity so I could work on my own.
I understand. It's so hard for orphans like us to survive.
Yes, it sure is. Look, Matten, things got pretty difficult for me, so I had to take another job in a hurry. I can't do 2 jobs at once. I'm sorry I have to cancel our contract.
Yeah, about that. I already publicly announced I have a girlfriend just a second ago.
Pianist prodigy Matten confirmed he's currently dating someone? Matten, I really can't do this.
Just tell me who your client is. I can make a deal with him.
I can't be with them both, so I called an emergency meeting for them to plead their cases.
An article accused me of inappropriate behavior towards female artists. It's completely false, of course. I need a girlfriend to distract the public and make them see I'm not a jerk. I want this promotion. If you won't help me, I'll expose you publicly. Pfft, like that matters. I'll just take you back to the US.
No, I can't go back there, and I don't want any attention from people either. This is what I'm gonna do, Carl. I'll be your girlfriend on weekdays and do anything I can to help you get promoted. In Matten, I'll be your girlfriend, well, pretend to be your girlfriend on the weekend. But my face has to stay out of the media, okay? Once this is done, then it's goodbye Harper and hello trouble-free, simple Diane. All I have to do is play some music while Matten listens and lets the paparazzi snap photos.
I've always admired the way you play music. It follows no rules, but that's what makes it so fearless and fun.
His comment made me pine for my parents. They were the reason I played like that. They taught me in the dark, told me to flow with the rhythms without any rules. I miss them so much.
I must admit, I'd always had a crush on you. When this is over, I want to protect you. I want to be your family.
This was sweet, but he didn't know that I already had a family. I just needed to be patient. Then eventually they'll be back. On weekdays, I joined Carlton for lunch at work and helped him talk to his coworkers and grumpy boss. Then in the evening, I went to his house and gave him tips on how to be more charismatic, make people trust and warm up to him. I also taught him how to walk without slouching and politely greet people.
Hi, Mr. Chair. You look great today.
Oh, Miss Lamp, are you okay? You shouldn't lose more weight. You're already gorgeous.
Isn't that too much? I've never talked like this before.
You're doing great. Carlton followed all my advice. He might be a bit clumsy, but in a cute, endearing way. Still, what I anticipated most was joining his family for dinner. I'd never experienced the cozy and warm atmosphere of a family dinner before. Who knew Carl was such a great cook? And so sweet. After only 1 week, Carl now had friends at work and his boss gave him extra responsibilities. Meanwhile, Matten's reputation also made a rebound thanks to articles like, he doesn't want to be around other girls because he's so passionately in love with this amazing muse. A frantic week quickly passed, which ended with Carlton's family celebrating his new position, all thanks to me. I was so moved I almost cried, but noticed Carlton seemed off. Maybe he was bummed out as he knew this was the end of our contract. After dinner, we went for a stroll around the garden. Then he blurted out,
"Who are you really?"
I was super surprised. Then he told me that one of his new jobs was to investigate a girl called Diane who entered the country, then vanished.
I know you're Diane. I can recognize those eyes anywhere.
Yes, I'm Diane, but I only faked my identity to earn money.
I know you're lying again. It's fine, you've helped me, so I'll help you too. I faked some info to close the case.
Thank you, Carl. This means a lot. I knew how important the laws were to him, but he still broke them. For me.
I actually quit my job.
What do you mean? What about your promotion? You've tried so hard for that.
It's okay. I realized I didn't like it so much anyway.
I felt terrible that he'd given up his job because of me. But he didn't need me anymore. Our contract had to end, right? Now it's time to end Matten's contract. Then I can go back to being Diane. However, I showed up at the villa to a swarm of reporters.
Are you Matten's girlfriend? Please get out of the car. Are you the girl who dates him for dollars, not love? Please show yourself and verify the news.
Looks like the news of Matten's girlfriend being a girl who only married for money had leaked. I sat there not knowing what to do. Then I saw Matten coming out of the villa hand in hand with some shiny-haired girl.
These rumors about my girlfriend are all lies. Amber is a wonderful, kind-hearted soul and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, I suppose that's pretty smart of him. Finding someone with a nice background was the only way to save his reputation for now. Goodbye, Matten. I wish you well. It seems he couldn't bring himself to ruin his career to protect me the way Carlton did. Now I was free to be Diane and attend this public school my parents wanted me to.
I was wondering when you'd show up. You're rather popular. A man with a scar has been asking about you.
Someone with a scar was looking for Diane? The moment I realized someone was watching me behind the door, my instinct told me to run for my life. I rushed to the window and jumped down, just to catch Carlton peeping at me. What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you, so I tracked down Diane. I didn't expect to find you here, but I like you a lot, and
there was no time. They saw us together, so I pulled him away.
You're driving like crazy, Diane. Who are they? Why are they chasing us?
I don't know. All I know is that they're dangerous. He took his phone out to call 911, but I stopped him. No cops. I can't trust anyone but myself, Carl. I'm so sorry for dragging you into this mess. My parents often told me the best way to escape a chase is to jump into the water. However crazy it seems, please trust me. I took a sudden turn and plunged the car straight into the sea. In the water, I unfastened the seatbelt and turned to see Carl already got out of his. He pulled my hand and we swam through the window. The waves drifted us onto a beach, but I had no strength left to move an inch. They're gonna catch us.
Celine, sweetie, please wake up.
I rubbed my eyes and saw the golden sand, Carlton, and my mom and dad? Am I dead? Mom?
No, sweetie, you're very much alive.
Turns out the people chasing us were my parents. After 10 years on the job, they finally eliminated the criminal gang and retired. Dad ended up getting the scar, but it's all over now. We could finally be a normal family.
You sure made it hard for us to track you down by using a different identity. We should have known our cunning daughter would have created a more challenging life. Like father, like daughter. Huh? You're not Diane?
Carlton, my name's Celine. Mom, Dad, this is Carlton, my boyfriend. It was so cute seeing him blush. Then he quickly held his hand out and introduced himself to them.
It's lovely to meet you both. I care greatly for your daughter, and I always will, no matter how mischievous she is.
Turns out it's pretty amazing just being Celine. I started school as myself, and so far, so good. I'm living with my kind, talented, and normal parents. We're having the best time together, and I get to date this cute, caring chef. The best part is I can finally stop running for my life and just enjoy the people I love most.
Hey, what exactly do you think you're doing? I know you stole my money. Give it back to me right now. Yeah, give it back to Sophie. That's her allowance. What money? I don't know about any money. I shrugged as I walked toward my bed, ignoring Sophie's furious face. After that, I had to listen to Sophie throw more accusations at me. Blah, blah, blah. I know it was only because I was a tomboy, so surely if a girl chooses to have short hair and wear baggy clothes, then she must be a thief. Poof! Eventually, I reached my breaking point. Quit with the accusations. I didn't steal any money. I didn't even know you had money. I know you took it. If you don't return it to me this instant, then I'm gonna tell Miss Hopkins. Her idle threats didn't bother me, so I just flopped down on my bed and played on my phone. Talk about a heavy atmosphere. Ugh. Then I saw them all frantically checking their phones and giving each other confused looks. So I took an earpod out and heard a phone ringing from over by Sophie. Isn't that your new phone, Sophie? Why don't you pick it up? What? No! Sophie stuttered, while Bella and Carly stared at her, all confused. I walked over to Sophie's bed, lifted the pillow, and yep, there was a brand new iPhone 13 Pro Max. So, Sophie, if there's nothing wrong with your brand new phone, then why did you feel the need to hide it so badly and not answer my calls? She nervously chewed on her nails, then blurted out, Fine, I spent all my allowance on a new phone. I knew my parents would be livid that I spent it so quickly, so I thought it'd be easier to blame you, since you're new and look kinda intimidating. Nice. I stared at her. You could have, found someone dumber to mess with, as I already see right through you and your dirty schemes. But whatever. Girls, I'm sorry. She gave Bella and Carly pleading looks. Please forgive me. They both shook their heads and told her that she'd have to ask Miss Hopkins, the dormitory supervisor, for a room change, else they'd tell everyone what she did. So Sophie angrily packed, then moved out. When the room was Sophie-free, Carly and Bella apologized to me, then helped me tidy up my stuff. I smiled at them. No worries, it's cool. After that, they wouldn't quit complimenting my clothes and style, and how smart I was. This was flattering and all, but I kept my chill exterior. That weekend, the school took us out on some woodland activity day. Our teachers organized a treasure hunt and divided us into groups. I ended up with Carly, Bella, and these 2 other girls. The teacher handed Bella the map, and she held it up the wrong way. "I think this map's broken." I chuckled, took it off her, then using the first clue we'd been given, I quickly found out that we needed to walk 100 steps east and find a tree by the lake. Turns out, all of the other clues were as easy peasy as the first one. And soon we'd finish the game. In first place. Everyone was gawping and clapping at me. Poof, it's just a piece of cake. We were on our way back to the dorm room when Carly sidled up to me and said, "Hey Sam, you did great today." "Oh, it's nothing. Puzzle games are my cup of tea." "Hey, I have an idea. Let's form a detective team, as our school still has a few cases unsolved." "That's a good idea. With the Sherlock Holmes minds of ours combined, nothing is impossible." Then the 3 of us looked at one another and laughed. I gave a nod in agreement. I mean, a detective agency sounded kind of fun. And that's how the CSI detective team was born. It stands for Caroline, Samantha, Isabel. Of course. At first, everyone laughed at us because they thought this group was nonsense. But then, the math exam was stolen, and through our expert investigation skills, we linked it to none other than Aubrey, the top student in the class. Hey, we even caught the creep who broke into the school to spy on the girls. And it was only a matter of time till everyone began to recognize our talents. One day, the 3 of us were standing at the locker when a series of message alarms rang out. It turns out that our school's confession page has a new post claiming that Liam, the most popular boy at school, was seducing, then defrauding numerous girls. They also posted some of the love notes Liam had slid into the girls' locker to manipulate them into giving him money. The message showed, "I can't wait to take you on a special date, but my debit card won't work. If you lend me yours, I'll make our date unbelievable. I promise. X." OMG, this is unbelievable. At that moment, I felt a tap on my shoulder, and I turned around to see a sullen-looking Liam standing there. "Please, you've gotta help me. These are all false accusations. Please help me find out who did this." And you know, of course, all of us nodded immediately. No one would refuse to help a boy as cute as Liam. Oh, I mean, we're the school's famous detective team, so how can we ignore this? Right? Yeah, right. I rolled my eyes. I didn't blame Carly for liking Liam. I mean, everyone likes him. I guess even I did. Bella then interrupted my daydreaming. "Come on, guys. Let's focus on our job. I think the person who did this must have some kind of grudge against Liam." Everyone agreed and started investigating, which led me to sneak into Liam's dorm and rifle through the bin. Bingo! I found a scrunched up piece of paper with the messages Liam had supposedly sent to his victims, scrawled in green ink. Then, who should just so happen to have green smudge on their hand but James, one of Liam's roommates. It turns out, James did this just because he was jealous of Liam's popularity. How petty. Well, this success certainly made the detective group more credible. We actually had our own fan base, and I was always overhearing other kids talking about us in a good way. Best of all, Liam was so grateful to us that he started hanging out with us more. We even went to the park with him one weekend, and he bought us all ice creams. Carly kept on flicking out her hair and giving him doe-eyed looks, while being the chilled girl I am, I kept it at a smile and a thanks. The only one who didn't seem impressed by Liam was Bella, who took the ice cream, forced a polite smile, then ignored him. Oh well, at least this meant one less competitor for his affection. One day, we were having lunch when we overheard the girls at the next table talking about how a girl saw a ghost in the old chemistry lab, and it scared her so badly, she refused to leave her bedroom for days. According to the others, the legend of this ghost had been around for a long time. Now, this sounded like a job for the CSI, but Bella immediately folded her arms and shook her head. "No, I'm not going. There are no ghosts in this world." I firmly said, "Yep, so we have to go and clear this up." But no matter how much Carly and I tried to persuade her, she point-blank refused to go. "Don't you know about the curse? If anyone goes looking for this ghost, they will be cursed and have bad luck for the rest of their lives." Didn't you just say there are no ghosts in this world? So why does that dumb curse bother you? Actually, I'm afraid of ghosts. I looked at Bella and tried not to laugh. Okay, so you stay in the room. Then me and Carly went to discuss plans for the evening. We were hiding in the corner of the chemistry lab. Jeez, it was boring in here, and I was kinda hungry. I should have brought snacks. Suddenly, a cold wind blew past us. It made me all goose-pimply. Carly shook my arm and whispered, "Sam, let's go back to the dorm." Shh! I heard something. Footsteps. Then I felt a touch on my shoulder. I looked at Carly. Then we both screamed and bolted for the door. Thud! We hit something and fell to the floor. I scrambled to get up and saw Carly with her eyes closed and praying. Please, Ghost! Please forgive us! What are you doing here this late? I looked up. It turned out to be a frowning Miss Hopkins. Yep, we both ended up getting a week's worth of detention for sneaking around at this hour. Ugh. After Miss Hopkins gave us another lecture and escorted us back to our dorm, Bella looked at us from her bed and said, "I told you that you'd both end up cursed, didn't I?" I snorted. I mean, a curse was nonsense, right? But then weird things started happening to me and Carly. My history assignment disappeared 10 minutes before the deadline. Carly went to put her sports kit on and found it covered in mud stains. And our personal items kept on disappearing, then reappearing in weird places. Worse still, the rumor of the detective team being cursed spread very quickly. Enough was enough. I needed to investigate this so-called curse and get to the bottom of it. I told Bella and Carly what I planned to do, but they didn't seem convinced. No, what if something bad happens? I'm never going back there. Sam, you shouldn't go there either. Okay, chill. I won't do it. It's just an idea. Calm down. That's what I told them. But the thing is, I don't give up easily, and I needed to figure out what was going on. So that night, I snuck out of the room and went to the lab alone. The hallway leading to the lab was so dark and quiet that I could hear my own breathing. Then suddenly, I saw a dark figure standing in front of the lab door. I tiptoed over. Then I heard a voice. "Did anyone see you?" So ghosts can talk now? But wait, why is this voice so familiar? I shone my phone flashlight at it. Bella? And Liam? Bella startled. "Listen to me first. It's not what you're thinking." Oh my god, had my friend been betraying me all this time? I immediately turned away and stormed off. Bella tried catching up with me to explain, but I didn't want to hear it. It was her all along. She'd played those sneaky tricks on Carly and me so we thought we were cursed, and wouldn't go back to her and Liam's secret rendezvous place. Back in the room, I told Carly what had happened, and we decided to ignore Bella. That's what she deserved. One day, we were eating lunch when Bella came over. Both of us were about to leave, but Bella hurriedly said, "Please give me a chance to explain." "There's no need to explain. We know what you did." "I know I messed up, but it's only because I'm afraid you guys will react like this, and I didn't want to lose our friendship." I put down the tray and reluctantly sat down. "I've been dating Liam for a while, and we were going to go public, but then I could see that you both liked him, and I was worried you'd be mad at me, and our detective team would disband." "God, you're such an idiot! Do you think we're that selfish?" "So yeah, we have a bit of a crush on Liam, but if you told us you were dating him, we would have been cool with it." Hearing that, Bella looked embarrassed. Then she gave a reconciling smile. Then we all hugged each other and promised that from now on, there would be no more secrets between us. And of course, the CSI detective team is still active, and now even has a hot new boy member. Yep, you guessed it right. It's none other than Liam.
I was planning a bank robbery with these dudes I hired online. They claim to be ex-criminals, so it's going to be a big haul. We identified the subject, ran through the script one more time, and then headed to the bank. But when we got there, I was speechless! Hi, my name is Jolie. Wondering how I ended up robbing a bank? Come on, I'll take you on a wild ride. I come from a happy family with a mom and dad who always showered me with unconditional love. In fact, they were so perfect, I don't think they'd ever argued about anything. Growing up, I was taught to be a good person and prioritize school for future careers. I did just that, and they were so proud. But then one day I came home to shocking news. Mom and Dad were getting divorced. But why?
Honey, this was the best for both of us. We're just not that compatible.
Not compatible? Did you just figure it out overnight? Sweetie, I know this is hard, but we're gonna be okay, I promise. No, we're not. We're a broken family and you just act like it's nothing. Do you even care at all? Days later, I still couldn't get my mind off it until I passed by this restaurant and saw a familiar figure. Was it Dad? Holding hands with a strange woman? What the freak? Dad's been cheating on Mom? I immediately dashed home to tell Mom, but when I got there, I didn't have the heart to break it to her. Mom, you okay? It's just that the divorce has been hard on me. I respect your dad's decision, but this is really hard for me. You're the only family I got now, Jolie. No, she's wrong. I won't let her be this brooding ex-wife of Dad. I'm gonna get him back to her, once he sees how his beloved daughter is being affected by this divorce. So the next day, I went to the park and picked the flowers in public. Well, not exactly, but it's bad, right? Then I crossed the street when the sign said stop, but the policeman didn't even bat an eye. Hello? I'm breaking the law over here. Okay then, Mr. Whitman's restaurant we go. I didn't order anything, but just drew all over his wall, in chalk. Well, you don't want it to stay forever, right? But Mr. Whitman appeared and thanked me instead, as I gave him the best ideas to keep the kids entertained while eating in his restaurant. Ugh. Frustrated, I read the whole book at the bookstore without paying, littered in public, and even kicked some trash cans over, but nobody seemed to acknowledge my bad deeds. So I binge-watched some crime movies to activate my evilness. Aha! A robbery! That's why I hired those idiots. Gold Beach Bank and Trust, not Gold Beach the hat shop, you imbecile! Sorry, my mistake. We went ahead with the robbery anyway and managed to steal a bunch of hats, and I made sure to accidentally drop my wallet with my ID inside. The next day, I came home from school to see the store's owner raging at Dad, accusing him of bad parenting. But Dad stayed oddly calm and just paid for all the hats I stole. What?
Go get ready. You and I are going to dine out tonight. There's someone I want you to meet.
Let me guess. It's the side chick I saw the other day.
Jolie, this is...
Aurora. I'm your dad's friend.
Aurora, we should tell her.
Oh, drop it! I knew already. You two have been having an affair, haven't you?
Jolie, watch your words.
Why? Because it's the truth? Dad was about to say something, but Aurora stopped him. I can't believe you do this to Mom. I ran out of there and hid in this alley, crying with an aching heart, when I spotted some guys looking sketchy. They had a suitcase full of money and kept looking around cautiously. Suddenly, I stepped on a squishy, and it made the loudest noise and got them all to turn towards my direction. I immediately ran away before they spotted me and bumped into someone.
Who's that? Show yourself!
The guy instantly understood the situation and hid me away.
Just a cat, Lalo.
After the gang left, I stepped out to thank him. And my, such a heartthrob. I was going to offer to repay him, but he just brushed it off and walked away. So freaking cool! Later, I got home and saw Mom packing. She said she'd move out soon. And Dad didn't even stop her. Suddenly, I noticed something. Pictures of Mom and... Aurora! Mom, you know this woman? Aurora? Yeah, we've been friends since middle school. Friends? She's not your friend. She and Dad have been having an affair behind your back. It's really over, isn't it? No, Mom! You need to stand up for yourself. If you don't do anything, then I will. There's only one way now. Get the school involved. If they see a straight-A student like me suddenly turn rebellious, they'll talk some sense into Dad, right? But of course, I need to make sure my bad deeds are legit this time. Suddenly, I noticed everyone buzzing around. Oh my god, did you hear? We got a new transfer student, and he's got such a bad boy vibe. Tell me about it. He's been the hottest topic ever since he got here. Oh my god, he's coming this way. I turned around and my jaw dropped. It was the guy I met yesterday. Suddenly headed straight to me.
There you are.
You're looking for me?
No, but I'm just tired of people surrounding me. Let's get out of here.
So, transfer student, huh? What happened to your hair?
Just thought I'd change it up a little. You know, more appropriate for school.
Wait, aren't you like some kind of bad boy? Why are you following the rules?
I got a bit of a reputation, but I'm ready to change my ways.
No! Good guys finish last, didn't you hear? That's why I'm trying to change too, to spice things up a bit. So, please, teach me to be a delinquent.
If you wanted that bad, then sure.
Yay! Thank you! You're gorgeous, man! Ooh, and a jacked bod, too. Tyler and I started my new rebellious plan.
Okay, show me what you got.
I immediately went straight to a group of nerds, slammed my hand on the table and snatched a guy's burger and started mooching off it. Here's some fries. Did your parents starve you? No! I immediately stood up and left. and saw Tyler, who was laughing at me hysterically.
That's your idea of being mean?
I know I'm bad, that's why I need you to enlighten me. Tyler then taught me some pranks, and it was hilarious. We kept the door shut with 20 different locks and enjoyed seeing the teacher struggling to crack them all open. Got the screen to show a bunch of memes during class, then played a bell ringing sound every 15 minutes, confusing everyone. The cherry on top was to get loads of adult diapers shipped to our beloved principal, cash on delivery. When the principal asked who did it, I proudly took the fall.
Do you care to explain yourself?
Principal, I may look bad right now, but that's because my parents are getting divorced. I can't eat, can't sleep, my mind's a mess.
Alright, I get it. Jesus. I'll have a talk to your parents. You can leave now.
Father dearest, let's see how you handled this. When I got out, Tyler was waiting for me. He drove me away, then stopped by this gorgeous lake.
You didn't just rebel because you were bored, right?
I sighed, then started pouring it all out that had been bottling up inside of me.
Guess having a normal family is luxury to both of us.
What do you mean?
I actually grew up in an orphanage, but I wasn't happy there, so I ran away. I ended up on the streets and causing trouble. Luckily for me, my foster dad noticed and adopted me. I'm extremely grateful to this day, so I'm always looking to help him with the business.
Your dad has a business? What does he do? Tyler didn't answer me. When we got back, Aurora was already there waiting for me. What are you doing here? Your dad went on a business trip and asked me to come over to look out for you for a few days. No, thank you. I can look out for myself.
And who is this young man? Have we met before?
Would you please stop poking your nose into my business? Can't believe Dad still went ahead with the divorce after meeting with the principal. And now I'm stuck here with this annoying woman. Just wouldn't let me leave the house and even ordered this rubbish dusk till dawn curfew on me.
You're not going to see that guy. He's trouble.
Please, you're not my mom. So I continued meeting up with Tyler. But strangely, whenever I suggested we hang out at his place, he always seemed hesitant. So one time I went to his house to surprise him, but upon seeing me, he looked so worried.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to come here. We have a guest today.
I turned around and was transfixed to see the sketchy guy from the alley.
Lalo, I'm Tyler's dad. You must be...
Jolie.
Oh, right, Jolie. Tyler told me lots about you. Come on in. Be my guest.
But Tyler pulled me out of there. We stopped at a nearby park when he finally loosened up a little. That man was your foster dad?
Yeah, I just couldn't tell you the truth. I'm afraid you wouldn't want me around anymore.
That's not true.
You don't get it. He's running an illicit business and now he's asking me to take over. I know I'm deeply indebted to him, but I don't want to do anything illegal.
Then don't. Just because he brings you up doesn't mean you have to do everything by his orders, especially breaking the laws, right? Tyler nodded, but still seemed troubled. That evening, Tyler was driving me back home when I suddenly saw a familiar face. I told him to drop me off there. Inside, Aurora was sitting side by side with a man, both looking all dressed up. Across the table was another person. What was she up to?
I'm telling you, this pair of top-notch diamond rings is perfect for your wedding.
Right. We only want the best for our wedding. Right, babe? Wedding? Those two? She's two-timing my dad. I quickly recorded their conversation and went home. Dad should be back tonight from his business trip. But when I told Dad everything, even with the recording, he still wouldn't believe me.
What are you talking about? I was just out shopping all day with my friends. Told you so.
Dad, you'll regret this deeply. And you, don't even think you could get away with this. I'll never accept you into this family. Tomorrow, the court will decide who I'm going to stay with. I know just what to do. I can't be in this house any longer. At the court, I stood up, to everyone's surprise, and spoke about how I got mistreated at home with Dad and Aurora, and asked to stay with my mom. The judge then asked Mom what she thought. I'm not so sure. Jolie should just stay with her dad. I was completely disappointed. Mom wouldn't even fight for me. When we got home, Dad immediately went bonkers on me while Aurora pulled off her nice act again. Right then, I got a text from Tyler asking to meet up, so I just stormed out of there. No, Jolie, wait up! When I arrived, Tyler looked surprised.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Mijo, I used your phone to ask her to come here.
Lalo then ordered his gang to tie me up. I was struggling to get away when someone rushed towards us. Lalo! Wait, Aurora? She knew this gangster? Release her now, or the police will get here any minute.
Thanks for the intel, Ms. DEA agent. We're about to leave. With your daughter, of course. Now, if you want to save her, fill in the place.
DEA agent? As in, undercover cop? Fine, take me instead. Lalo's gang tied her up and pushed her into the van.
That's right. Boys, take this brat too. We can't spare any witnesses on the scene. We had a deal, Lalo. Really? Didn't ring a bell.
He ordered Tyler to drive away while the police siren was getting louder. Suddenly, Tyler took a turn.
What are you doing? That is not the way.
While they were distracted, Aurora slipped out the multi-tools in her pocket and started cutting the ropes around my hands. I did the same to her. Tyler then made a sudden stop. Lalo and the gang lost his balance and fell to the floor. The police immediately surrounded the van and captured these criminals. Jolie, you were right. You didn't get hurt anywhere, right? Yeah, thank you for saving me. And I'm sorry for acting so rude. It's just, I'm not ready to move on from the divorce yet. Sweetie, there's something really important I want to tell you. I'm your biological mother. What are you saying? Jean is my biological mother. No, sweetie. She's a friend of mine. I know this is all confusing, but just listen. 16 years ago, your dad and I had you. Right after giving birth, I had to move to Mexico to handle a serial diamond smuggling case caused by Lalo. And Jean offered to help out with you. I figured you deserve a normal, happy family, so I accepted her help and asked her to move to our house. Years later, thinking the case was finally closed, I moved back home, ready to reunite with you and your dad. But I suddenly got the news Lalo's organization was still operating and had to move to the States. I couldn't risk putting you in danger, so I hid the truth from you. But what about the person who talked about the wedding with you? Oh, that's Alejandro, my partner. We were just pretending to be a couple for the investigation. Oh, I had no idea. You've done so much for me.
Of course, you're my daughter.
Thank you, Mom. Finally, everything became clear. But as we got to the house, Jean, suddenly came dragging me away.
You're my daughter. No one gets to take you away from me. Just because you raised Jolie doesn't mean you get to do anything to her. If you truly love her, you would only want the best for her.
Jean then broke down crying, revealing she had lost her reproductive ability. She was so happy she had me to take care of and treated me like her own daughter. Hey, don't worry. You'll forever be my mom. I gave Jean the biggest hugs. That's when I noticed Tyler was happy for me, but sad at the same time. I suddenly realized he didn't have a family anymore. I have an idea. Why don't you adopt Tyler into your home? Tyler and Jean looked at each other, and bright smiles appeared on their faces. Everything finally turned out to be okay. I've been trying to catch up with Mom and make up for all those lost years, but I also don't forget my second mom either. Tyler, or should I say my boyfriend, now lives with Jean, and he's driving me to visit her. I'm so happy I finally have a loving family and a baddie boyfriend. Only this time, we're not trying to break bad anymore.
It's only 6 a.m., but Dad already woke me up.
Hurry up, LaDonna. A huge storm's coming. Poor households await the city's plan for food and shelter.
Oh, then what's the mayor's plan for my food? But Dad didn't listen and just drove away without letting me have breakfast. Well, I'm used to this anyway. A little backstory. We came from a long line of politicians. My grandpa, my uncles, all worked for the government. My dad actually broke with tradition and became a successful businessman. But I guess the apple really can't fall far from the tree. Last year, he took a sudden U-turn and moved back to his hometown to pursue a political career. And he was elected mayor. Since then, he had no time left for me. Not to mention the judgy eyes I had to face at school. You look fine. It's not you. It's your dad's new policy they're whispering about.
Don't mind them, LaDonna. What do us kids know about politics anyway?
Here they are, Kira and Troy, my only friends here. In fact, Troy's even in a similar situation. His mom is the chief of police, but he deals with it pretty well. Have you been to the White House?
Does the key to the city really open anything? Can you tell your dad to ban homework?
Seriously, how could Troy stay calm before these stupid questions? And even the teachers wouldn't leave me alone. They always put me in charge of things. Please, just because my dad has great leadership doesn't mean I do too, as if I wasn't already swamped with chores. Once the last bell rang, I rushed to the grocery store. Since Dad's always busy now, poor old me had to take up housework, and it's frozen meals all day, every day. But today he'd come home early for dinner, so I'm gonna throw a feast. Except, none of these tasted edible. What's the problem? I followed the recipes very carefully.
Did I come home at the wrong time?
No, Dad, a perfect timing. My apple pie's ready.
You mean that smoking thing in the oven?
Oh no! My only ray of hope has also turned to ashes! I immediately ran to the convenience store, grabbed all of the instant foods, and dashed home. But Dad's already fallen asleep.
He must be exhausted. It's always been him who raised me, as Mom passed away giving birth to me. Now on top of that, he had to take care of this whole town. He needed a partner to share his burden, and I needed to be taken care of as well. Let's see, getting to know someone new with Dad's hectic schedule would be impossible, so maybe reconnect him with one of his exes? From my aunt, I learned he had 2 ex-girlfriends. One is Jade, his old classmate who's still single. 2 is Alva. No other information. Let's start with Jade then. Next day, I immediately told Troy and Kira about my master plan. That's my Aunt Jade. No way! It's fated! Suddenly, a group rushed towards us, babbling about my uncle being appointed temporary Secretary of State. Jeez, chill guys! They kept flocking around, making me feel suffocated. Panicked, I ran away, and as I turned the corner, a hand pulled me back. Calm down. You're safe from that crazy crowd now. Thanks, but why did you help me? I've been in your position. I know what you're going through. Just like that, I found myself comfortably venting everything to her. It must be hard for your family of 2. That's why I'm finding him a wife. Oh, good luck to you then, sweetie. I have to go now. What a lovely lady. If only everyone could be like her. With Kira's help, setting up a date for Dad and Jade was a piece of cake. We both dragged them to the same restaurant, then cued some cliché matchmaking moments. Me and Kira quickly excused ourselves and monitored things from afar. They seemed to have a good time, but as we leaned closer... Huh? Inflation? Food security? Obesity epidemic? They'd been chatting about politics this whole time? Dad! That's exactly why you're single! On the way home, I constantly mentioned Jade, but Dad was nonchalant and switched the subject to his meeting instead. Ugh, another one in 30 minutes. I'll have to stay home alone tonight. As he dropped me off, he added, "Find yourself a boyfriend first before trying to set me up." How annoying! I then called Kira to inform her that our matchmaking plan had failed, but it took her a while to accept it. You give up too soon. Is it 'cause you don't like my aunt? No, Kira, it's 'cause I know my dad. And if he said no, it's a no. Okay, now plan B. Alva. I did some digging and figured out the neighborhood where she lived. I'll go there tomorrow. So here I am now, completely lost. Except, isn't that the woman who helped me at school? I rushed over and thanked her for the other day, but she seemed a little off. After a lot of persuading, she finally told me the cause of her sorrow. A tragic love story. His family are all politicians, so they can't accept someone mediocre like me. I'm so sorry, but I'm sure you can find someone better. She shook her head, saying he'd recently moved back to town and was still single. That got her reminiscing about the good old days, but sadly, he's seeing someone else. Wait a sec, is that a photo of you 2? May I see? She showed it to me. My thought exactly. That's my dad! So, you're Alva? Yes, but how do you know? Because you're my dad's ex, just who I'm looking for. I shrieked in happiness, but strangely, she cried even harder, then hugged me. If that's your dad, then LaDonna, I'm not just his ex. I'm your mom. Hold up, what now? So, they were deeply in love despite my dad's family's disapproval. But when I was born, they got even angrier and kicked her out. Yet, this entire time, I thought my poor mom was no longer on this earth. Our reunion was cut short by Dad's call. I wanted to ask him everything ASAP, but Mom signaled me not to. Honey, don't tell Robert yet. Of course I look forward to our family's reunion, but I'm not ready to meet him. And perhaps neither is he. It'll be awkward for him and the woman he's seeing. No worries, Mom. There's nothing between them. The only woman for him is you. Having Mom beside me made my life so much better. She's a successful businesswoman, but still puts work aside to spend time with me. We went on picnics, shopping, watched movies together. And her cooking is the best. I devoured the grilled ribs in an instant. It's 1,000 times better than frozen food. When I'm around her, I can be myself without worrying about the public's eye. I wish I could skip class every day to stay home with Mom like this, but it's not that easy. At school, I excitedly told Kira and Troy all about my fun outings with Mom, but they looked rather uninterested. Whatever. Mom will pick me up later and we'll have a blast. Suddenly, buzzing talks from other tables cut off my thoughts. My cat eats faster than her. Indeed, our graceful princess. Guys, don't be fooled. She's in fact a delinquent who skips class all the time. Having a mare daddy is so lucky. If we did that, we'd be kicked out right away. Those mean girls always have something bad to say. I headed toward them to settle this once and for all, but my father's words echoed in my mind. LaDonna, everyone judges me by your behavior. Ugh, fine. They're right, LaDonna. You've been absent quite a lot lately. I just want to be around my mother. A good mom would never tell her daughter to skip class. Think about it. There must be a reason for your whole family to be against her. What do you know? They were the bad guys who unreasonably looked down on her. Then why did your dad keep in touch with my aunt, but cut ties with her? So, Kira was still annoyed that my dad and her aunt didn't become a thing? How petty. I walked off, but Troy ran after me. Kira's just worried about you. Also, you're living in the same town as your mom now. You'll have lots of time with her, so don't play truant again, okay? Here, I've marked the important parts we learned during your absence. Troy has always been gentle to me. He's right. I have tons of time for Mom, but we can't keep sneaking around like this. My parents should reunite soon. I remembered the story of how my mom first met Dad and got an idea. What's so important that you have to come here in this weather? I promised to help out a friend. Please pull over here and wait for me. The friend I was helping was none other than Mom. I then waited a bit before telling Dad to bring me an umbrella because it's raining too hard. Now it's your turn. Go get him, Mom. And just like that, the romantic scene from many years ago was reenacted right before my eyes. My mom was soaking wet, dashed through the rain, then bumped into my father. My dad then bent down to help her up, looked right into her eyes, and dropped her on the ground? I was still in shock when Dad charged towards me and dragged me back to the car. How did you know that woman? I asked around. Just stop. Never see her again, got it? His extreme reaction was proof that Mom really mattered. They'll definitely get back together soon because they had me, their special bond. That night, I called Mom. She must have been really upset. It's all right, honey. I'm used to it. Your dad's family was... Never mind. Your birthday's coming. LaDonna, what do you want for a present? I just want you to be with me. Yes, sweetie. If only we could celebrate as a family. That's it! I insisted Dad throw me a huge birthday party. I invited all my friends and acquaintances. When the party began, I stepped on stage and thanked everyone for coming. Lastly, the biggest thanks goes to the people who brought me into this world. Dad, Mom, please join me. I believe you all know my father already, but my mother, Alva Garrix... The crowd began talking and pointing. Now Dad has to acknowledge her. Please, it's a misunderstanding. Miss Garrix here is only an old friend, and it seems she got along very well with my daughter, which is just adorable. Let's toast to our little princess's birthday. Unbelievable! He's fully committed to disregarding her. As the guests were busy chatting, Dad pulled me into a room. Ugh, he doesn't have the right to be mad here. Old friend? You're straight up lying! Alva is my mother. No, she's a gold digger. Look, there's no time right now. When do you ever have time for me? Dad just sighed, apologized, then sat me down to tell me that back when he first started his business, it failed, but he didn't want to ask his family for help. Mom berated him, saying he was a dumb loser who wouldn't take advantage of his family's power. Unable to change his mind, Mom left after I was born. No, that's not it. I'm sorry, Robert. I shouldn't have shown up here. It's all my fault. She suddenly passed out. Panicked, Dad and I put her in bed. That night, I checked on Mom constantly, then fell asleep next to her. I was awoken by my phone's notifications, so I quickly went out to check to not wake Mom. Oh my, hundreds of articles about my dad came up. His old photos with Jade and with my mother were all over the news. The press was saying that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Dad's bombarded with calls from dozens of news outlets. It's her. Only Alva has these photos. Dad, look! How could such a frail person do anything? Suddenly, I saw a figure at the door to Mom's room. Dad and I tiptoed over, then grabbed them. Aha! Gotcha! Huh? Kira? Kira claimed that my mom's very suspicious, so she had to keep an eye on her. I swear she's faking it. I heard her on the phone just now. Enough, Kira! You're out of line this time. I don't want such a petty friend. Leave! Kira didn't say another word, and just left. So did my dad. The protest at 4th Street is still going strong? All right, I'm coming. It's always work, work, work. Do these strangers matter more to him than his wife and kid? The next day, Troy asked me to meet up at the park for some update. So I unloaded everything onto him. I can't believe my dad rejected Mom just to save face like that. He's not making as much money as when he had his business. Why is he so dead set on this job? I used to think like that about my mom too, but then I realized that she wasn't doing her job for money or fame, but simply contributing to society. I now entirely support her because it's her life's purpose. It might be the same for your dad. What Troy said lingered in my mind. It does make sense. If Dad's all about glory, there's many other ways which don't require him bending over backwards day in and day out like this. Troy's always been understanding to his mom. And me? I've never been supportive of Dad when he had to juggle between his job and me. When I got home, Mom was nowhere to be seen, except a letter on the table. Mom said she's terminally ill and didn't have much longer. That's why she risked everything to be with me. But now her health worsened. She didn't want me to witness her pitiful condition, so she left. I immediately called her. It's dangerous in this abandoned construction site. Please don't come. I just need you to know I love you, LaDonna." I immediately knew where she was when she said that. I rushed over, but at the entrance, a scary-looking crew approached me. "Don't worry, sweetie. They're our friends. Just listen to them." They wasted no time tying me up, then called Dad. As soon as he arrived, Mom dropped her act. Turned out, she planned to approach me right after knowing he was elected mayor. Her wish to rekindle with us was just to use Dad, but it didn't work on him, so she's pushing things this far. "Sign here, and our daughter will be safe. Many people will go bankrupt if that's signed. Don't ever think you could fool me. You couldn't care less about your daughter? Or are you still counting on those useless cops? Ma'am, you underestimate our law enforcers." It's Troy and Kira, followed by undercover policemen coming from all directions. Turns out, Kira actually heard the calls Alva made to her accomplices. She then told Troy and asked his mom to look into Alva. Coincidentally, the police had always been after Alva because she's been involved in a scheme that gave tenants a ridiculously huge debt. She colluded with the former mayor and wanted to continue the scam with my dad now. Before she's taken away, Alva still cried and begged for my help. I was nothing more than a puppet to you, and now you're talking about maternal love? A scammer like you deserves to be brought to justice. After Alva's arrest, I broke down crying. She's my mother. That's the only truth among all those lies. Dad hugged me and said sorry for everything. It's all my fault. I just foolishly fell into her trap because I wanted someone to take care of us. "I'm sorry, LaDonna. You went through so much because of me and my job." It's okay, Dad. Now I see how meaningful your work is. I'm proud to be your daughter. And you too. Thank you. I decided to sign up for a cooking class to better support Dad, and this banquet is the fruits of my hard work. But before he could even sit down, an emergency call came. He gave me a sorry look, but I gladly said, "Bye, Dad. I'll save you some." I was a little bummed out, but it's his job after all, and if he can't be changed, why not learn to enjoy it? Moments later, these hungry hippos already came. But hey, this just came to my mind. How about Troy's mom? She's also single and would look great with your dad, right? Nah, I've realized he already has a love of his life, serving the community. He's very happy with his choice, so I'll leave him be, for now. That's right. Besides, we can't be family. At least, not yet.
I was in Turkey watching hot air balloons fill the sky at sunset, and next to me was the man of my life. Suddenly, he got down on one knee, holding a diamond ring.
Sophia, from the moment we met, I knew you were the keeper of my heart. Please say you'll marry me.
Yes! Then he leaned over me for a kiss. But wait, why does it feel so sloppy? I ignored it and went with the flow, then... Wow, not me. Still in bed, wiping drool off my face. Definitely not. Hi, I'm Sophia, the girl so in love with other people's love. Romance is my jam, and my whole life's motivation. I've lost count of the sleepless nights I've had just so I could find out the ending to a love story. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll have a perfect romantic relationship like those characters. Only reality won't stop slapping me in the face with 17 years of loneliness and counting. I know it sounds quite normal, right? Until some mean girl started mocking me and my hobby every day. Soph, how many novels have you read this week? I don't remember. Maybe 7? Wow, that's impressive. You must have a lot of love experience by reading these, huh? And how many roses did you receive this year? Oh, that's 0. School sucked, and home was not better. My parents mostly worked far from home, so it was usually just me rattling around the house. I got super lonely, but luckily, I had Gabrielle to keep me company. She's a sweet old lady I care for after school. She's a kind soul who always tells me the most magical love story, her own. My husband could have picked any girl, but he chose me. From the moment our eyes met across the meadow with only bluebells and buttercups separating us, we both knew that we were meant to be. Aww, this only fuels my drive to find true love, to know how it feels to be completely and utterly adored by someone. But no matter how hard I tried, my dating experiences were no more than a romantic comedy series, without the romantic. When I told Gabrielle about them, but she laughed and said I was too picky. I'm not picky, I swear. I just want my love to be perfect. He has to be smart, handsome, caring, romantic, and have the cutest smile. You must know someone. What about Shane? Didn't you like him at one point? I did, until I saw his B in geography. My boyfriend has to be good with directions or else he'd never find his way to me. What about my neighbor Iris's son? He's a smart young man your age. That nose picker? No way! This is hopeless! Am I destined to stay in this single inferno forever? Anyway, I needed to stop moaning and focus on my job. I started dusting, but I was so busy daydreaming that I knocked over a picture frame. I quickly picked it up and saw it was of a cute guy. Gabrielle, who's this? That's James, my grandson. He owns a company that makes robots. Oh, so that's why your house is fully equipped with cleaning robots, dishwashing robots, and so many others. Yes, I'm quite proud of him. But alas, I see him once in a blue moon 'cause he's so busy. But if you'd like, I can arrange for you two to meet. Thank you, but tech bros are a pass. Guys, I wasn't into nerdy guys who didn't have time for anyone but their latest inventions. I wanted my dream guy to only have eyes for me. Gabrielle then had an emergency at her neighbor's house, so I stayed and continued organizing all her junk. The plan was to put them in the garage, but there were so many corridors in our house that I took a wrong turn and ended up near the steps to the basement. The box was heavy, and I figured a garage and a basement were both storage places, so I took it down there. Huh? What is this place? It's like something out of Westworld. Then my heart almost jumped out to see this. Wow! He looked so lifelike that I unconsciously reached out to touch his skin. It felt as soft as a human's. Oh my god, I accidentally pressed some buttons on it.
I love you, my mistress.
The heck is that? Stay back, or else I'll hit you.
Mistress, you are beautiful.
Don't come any closer! Despite my threats, he started chasing me around.
I am at your service, my mistress. Please stop running.
Back off! I am not your mistress!
I believe this is yours, my mistress.
Well, it didn't seem like he meant any harm, and just acting like a true robot. Curious, I tested out some of the different modes, and oh wow, he can make a flower bouquet out of metal scraps, massage my feet like he's the world's best masseuse, and lift me like I don't weigh anything to him, like it comes straight out of a sci-fi movie. I tried searching for more info on this robot online, but no matter which keywords I used, no relevant results came up. It's almost time to go home. I needed to get back upstairs before Gabrielle found out what I'd been doing, but I couldn't find a deactivation button anywhere.
That tickles, haha. Can you please stop, miss?
As if you could feel tickles! Ugh! This will do for now. That evening, I was having dinner when I heard my doorbell ring. I opened it and was astonished to see that robot with a heart-shaped box.
Please, let me court you, my mistress.
Why on earth are you here? Go back to your place. But the robot didn't take no for an answer and kept harassing the doorbell and peeking through my window. Man, I can't take this anymore. I left my jacket at Gabrielle's, but I don't want to disturb her. Can you go get it for me?
My mistress, I will not leave your side, even if it means I have to disobey you.
So I had to walk him back to Gabrielle's house. I tried making him crawl through the doggy door so he wouldn't trigger any alarm, but little did we know. Oh my god, her security system reaches that part of the house too? Hey, robot, it looks like you're gonna have to stay at mine.
I don't like this name, mistress. Please give me another one.
Fine. I hereby name you Edward, after, the handsome Edward Cullen.
Quite outdated, but handsome is fitting.
Maybe I could get Edward back without Gabrielle knowing. I didn't want her to think I was a snoop, or worse, a thief. I liked her far too much to risk losing her as a friend. Only, having a robot around complicated things. Luckily, my parents were on a business trip, but that let Edward freely wreak havoc at my house. He put my toothbrush into the toilet bowl, ruined my white shirt by washing it with my pink sweater, and made me a cat food sandwich. I thought robots were smart. Why is this one so dumb? Also, I can't stop Edward from following me to school. Honestly, I couldn't help but feel a little smug in front of those mean girls with Edward by my side. As everyone gathered around the new student, he just randomly started singing and made up song about how much he loved me, and even threw heart-shaped confetti out of nowhere all over me. I needed to get him out of there before he pulled anything else, or worse, before they found out he was a robot and thought I was even more desperate than I already was. I finally managed to get a quiet night after leaving Edward with the cat, when suddenly I heard banging sounds. Jeez, Edward is roaming around again. Ed, can you please leave my cat alone? I'm trying to sleep. But then I heard footsteps marching toward me. I opened my eyes to see a masked figure holding a big bag. Who are you? Help! Then Edward immediately charged in and tackled the intruder to the floor. I was shaken up, but I managed to call the police while Edward stood guard over the knocked-out thief. Edward kept asking if I was okay, and if I got hurt, I couldn't help but smile back at him. He saved me, and was so cool doing it. From that day, I started treating him like I would a real boy. I showed him my favorite books, enjoyed movie nights with him, and went feeding the ducks in the park together. The more time I spent with him, the more I started to realize he was my other half. Well, see, he could make milk tea exactly how I liked it, gently comforted me when I got a B in English, and was unbelievably patient when it took me ages to decide my next move whenever we played chess. Best of all, we could have long, deep talks till the sun comes up. He was so perfect, as much as I didn't want to return him anymore. I felt guilty every time I faced Gabrielle, so I came to her house less and less. She texted me asking if I was okay, but I simply replied that I was busy with school. It seemed that she hadn't known anything about the disappearance of Ed. Life with Edward was just too good to give up, aside a few limitations. This morning I came to him with open arms, fully expecting his warm, fuzzy embrace, but turns out robots suck at giving hugs. It felt like hugging a mannequin. Then there's the occasional lagging, which was super embarrassing when it happened in public, like knocking over a stack of cans at the supermarket level of embarrassing. Or sometimes when he just froze for like 15 minutes loading my commands. But that's not a big deal. We were still happy together. Until that day. We were on a picnic in a meadow when it suddenly rained. We looked at each other and started laughing, chasing each other barefoot through the slicking grass, then dancing under the sudden silver curtain, twirling and splashing like giddy children. In that moment, I knew the storm outside was nothing compared to the one raging within, a joyous tempest of connection and love. Suddenly, Edward moved slower and his voice trailed off. Sophia, I don't feel so good. I won't make it. That's when I came back to my senses, realizing he wasn't a human. How can he suffer under the rain? No, Edward, no! You have to make it! Don't leave me! I really, really like you! How nice would it be if you were a real person? Then, to my horror, he froze on the spot. I tried to get him to move, but it was no use. He'd shut down. I couldn't sleep or eat or do anything. It was horribly empty without him. No one here asked me if I was okay. And no one's there to make me milk tea or laugh at silly things anymore. Worse still, prom was fast approaching. I decided to come without a date. I walked around, seeing people talking and laughing with each other, and somehow I felt so lost, and even lonelier than before. My heart sank to the floor. I couldn't be here any longer. As soon as I returned home from school, I went immediately looking for my Edward, but he wasn't there. Edward had gone!
Hey, I'm Sophia. If you missed the first part of my story, I'll get you up to speed. I'm a hopeless romantic with the worst luck, until I stumbled upon the most gorgeous robot in my friend Gabriel's basement. Crazy, huh? Guess what? I also named him Edward and started dating him. But then, out of the blue, he vanished. So here I am, running around looking everywhere for my robot boyfriend, who had actually shut down. Ugh, I should have exercised harder. I kept running and running and running when bam! I accidentally ran head first into, oh my god, Edward! I immediately wrapped my arms around him so tightly. Where have you been? You got me worried sick! But hang on, his body's warm, and I could feel his heart beating. I let go and stared at him. This is Edward's face, all right, but something seemed off. I couldn't stop myself from poking his arm and pinching his cheeks. Whoa, you can blush now? Were you upgraded? Then I gave his hair a pull test and another hug. This is perfect! I love it! Then a drop of sweat landed on my cheek, rolling down to my mouth. It even tastes salty! Ed, you're so cool!
Enough already, crazy girl. You're lucky I don't condone violence against the mentally ill. Kindly get away from me, please.
So you're a real person? What the heck? Then why does he look just like Edward? As if things couldn't get any worse. The mean girls from school drove by. They seemed to have recognized me because their car slowed down and one girl stuck her head out. Walking to prom all alone? Where's your boyfriend? Did he see some sense and dump your sorry butt? Looks like you returned to spinsterhood for good. I couldn't say as much as a squeak back and simply lowered my head in shame. They were not wrong. Suddenly, someone linked arms with me. I looked up and saw that guy.
I'm her new boyfriend. You got a problem with my girl?
I was confused. So were the mean girls. Isn't he still the same guy? Is he crazy too? Birds of a cuckoo feather flock together. Let's go, girls. I was so grateful that he'd come to my rescue that I absent-mindedly clung onto his arm and jumped up and down in excitement. The guy just shook me off coldly.
Calm down. I only did it because I don't like seeing anyone being picked on, especially if they really are crazy. Anyway, do you remember where your house is? I'll take you home for safety.
Hey, I'm not crazy. I'm absolutely 100% normal. Let's see. The first person to discover America was Christ.
Okay, that's enough. No need to prove.
Then he told me his name was Nathan and asked why both me and those mean girls seemed certain he was my boyfriend. Yeesh. I couldn't exactly tell him I dated his doppelganger who's a robot, could I? He already thought I was nuts. It's just, you look a lot like someone I used to date, but, only from a distance. Close up, you have different eyebrows, different frowns, different smiles, and different expressions.
Okay, I guess that makes perfect sense.
Wow, he actually fell for that?
Okay, bye.
Wait, I still needed to find out if Nathan the human and Edward the robot were somehow connected. Hey!
What now?
I, enjoy talking to you, even though you think I'm crazy. Would you want to hang out again? I could show you my sticker collection? Jesus, what are you saying, Sophia?
Sure, you can hit me up whenever. Here you go.
Oh, wow, that was easy. I guess I had much more games than I thought I was. But 3 days had gone by and I still hadn't texted Nathan. I followed the 3-day rule and waited. But what if he ghosted me? The possibility of rejection sounded bad, but not finding Edward seemed even worse. That thought freaked me out so much I hit send without thinking. But I felt regret right after looking at my nonsense text. No way he would reply. Then my phone dinged.
Not since I was 12. Why? Don't tell me you collect robots as well as stickers.
Just curious. I don't collect robots, but now I'm thinking about it.
You make collecting robots sound the same as collecting stickers.
We messaged back and forth all day, and then before I knew it, we arranged our first date. We met at the park and he brought me ice cream. I happily accepted it, while still focusing on my mission. Yum, ice cream! Do you think robots get sad that they can't eat it?
I imagine they don't give it much thought.
Wow, you seem to know a lot about them. Did you study robotics or artificial intelligence?
No, I didn't. It's obvious robots don't enjoy ice cream like we do.
So you don't want to be a robot?
No, not really.
I tried to subtly sneak more robot questions in, but he managed to answer all of them and never seemed caught off guard or anything. The thing is, I was enjoying spending time with Nathan, especially as I was extra lonely without Edward. So I agreed to go on more dates with him. I also decided to start visiting Gabriel after school again. Today, I brought her some cookies and apologized for being absent, but she seemed distracted. When I asked her what's wrong, she just said, "I misplaced something important, and now my grandson is unhappy with me." Oh no! She already knew about the robot! Have you seen it anywhere? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to activate it. It just looks so real and it followed me home and became my boyfriend, but then it vanished and... Sweetie, what are you talking about? It was me. I took the robot.
What robot? I was talking about the control for the toaster robot.
Say what? I was screwed. And now I really had to come clean. Then I showed her a picture of me with Edward, and also me with Nathan.
Dearie me, they do look like twins. James hasn't said anything about it, so he probably hasn't noticed either. In the meantime, please keep looking for Edward, but it's best that you investigate the link between him and Nathan yourself. If I start asking James questions, he'll only get suspicious.
I was relieved Gabriel didn't scold me. She's right. I needed to solve these mysteries myself, and the only way was spending more time with Edward's identical human twin. And I'd been doing just that. Nathan and I had gone on a couple of dates already, and I liked how he was always sweet toward me, even though I was still shy and found it hard being around human guys. He always took care of me and didn't seem to notice any other girls. Best of all, we had a special spot just for us in this beautiful forest that Nathan showed me. I gradually noticed how similar he was to Edward, like how both of them often surprised me with sweet treats, didn't mind when I said or did silly things, and smiled whenever I smiled. Nathan was also super smart.
Do you know it takes 100 cocoa beans to make one candy bar?
I didn't know that. I just know how to love you.
Me too. You know what? The longer I'm with you, the cuter I find you. I just can't resist.
This cool guy had a silly side to him too, like when he'd bet me he could catch a squirrel or climb a really tall tree, which reminded me so much of Edward running after my cat. But unlike a robot, Nathan had this funny snort laugh and he chewed his nails. Ew! And he could be a grump when we were watching TV. He had this annoying habit of changing channels mid-show. ADHD much? Usually these traits would have put me off a guy, but for some reason when it came to Nathan, I found them endearing. I guess relationships aren't always rosy, because humans are supposed to have imperfections, right? Although, I figured there are things we could accept or overcome together. So I encouraged him to give the nail biting a break, and he eventually stopped. Besides, I gradually can't get mad when you took over the remote anymore. Nathan, I'm watching it!
Babe, just 5 minutes, please.
And who knew that a high-speed car chase could be so thrilling? So far, I'd say our relationship had been spontaneous, unexpected, and a whole lot of fun. Time passed, yet there was still no sign of Edward. I owed it to Gabriel to solve this mystery before her grandson found out and got mad. I knew I had one option left. Ask Nathan directly. Nate, you need to come clean with me. Do you know anything about this robot?
Yeah, right. Calling me a robot. Very funny, Soph.
Okay then, do you remember doing this? I saw Nathan's grin fade to this puzzled look.
I don't know anything about this. It's concerning that someone is using my appearance for an artificial intelligence product. Who knows what this could lead to?
Talking to Nathan hadn't helped at all. I was left feeling even more confused than before. So I decided to take action. The next day when I came to Gabriel's, as usual, she was putting on her coat to leave. She told me she just had to drop off a present at her neighbor's, but she'd be back soon and I must stay and join her for dinner. Time and place, Sophia. Being alone in her house, I found myself staring at the basement door. That's right, I'd looked for Edward everywhere except here. Maybe I'll find some clues there. The coast was clear, so I headed down to the basement. I only wanted to see if there's any traces of Edward, then out of there. But I ended up discovering something shocking. Edward was there. Someone must have brought him back. Before I could get a grip of the situation, I heard footsteps. This could be my one chance of getting answers. So I hid in the corner and couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the person entering was—
Here's a quick refresh. Somehow, I landed myself a boyfriend named Edward. He was everything I'd hoped for. Except that he's a robot. The one day, he suddenly went missing. I tried to find him, but instead, I found Nathan, who was identical to Edward, but human. I wanted to know how this could be possible, so I started dating Nathan to figure it out, but still had no clue. Then, my jaw dropped when I saw Edward back at Miss Gabriel's basement, where I first found him. Just then, I heard footsteps coming in, and I had to hide myself. And the person walking in was Nathan, wearing a lab coat. Next to him was another guy who looked just like Gabriel's grandson. So he must be James. But what did Nathan get to do with James and this basement lab?
The actuator's frazzled. We need to do a better job of making him waterproof. He's fixable, sir. We just need to give him better defense against the elements. I have this special coating paint that might help. Good. No wonder you're his creator.
Hold on. Nathan created Edward for James's company? He knew about him this whole time and he'd lied to me? But why?
Oh, and finish it before the launch this weekend. About that, I'm not sure this is the right time to launch the robot. Why? What if people use it for the wrong reason? Imagine a world where a robot replica would replace someone in important situations, like their own wedding or a proposal dinner. Wouldn't the other person get hurt once they find out? The person they have feelings for or getting married with is an apathetic robot? You're talking about that girl, Sophie, aren't you? Don't you dare tell me you have feelings for her now. You're the one who created the robot. You're the one who wants to show it to the world. Why let a test subject change your mind? She's not a test subject. You're saying this, but you're the one who programmed it to fall in love with the person who activated it and put a micro camera in its eyes to gather sample footage. Didn't you have fun replaying them over and over again?
Those words left me speechless. That's who I was to him this whole time? Just some guinea pig to test out his product? How could he be so heartless? I tried to stop the tears from falling, as now was not the time, but then accidentally knocked over a box.
Who's there?
I froze at the spot as James came straight at where I was hiding, peeking through the stuff covering me.
Found you, little mouse.
With panic surging through my body, I leapt to my feet and ran into the only elevator down here and pressed close before he could reach me. I thought I'd lost them as I reached the garden and stopped to take a break, when suddenly I felt someone gripping my arm. Nathan?
Soph, please, let me explain everything.
I didn't want to talk to him, so I tried pushing him off me. He touched my shoulder and tried calming me down, but this only made me angrier. You used me! How could you do that? I liked you, Nathan. I really liked you. But I was just an object in your stupid experiment.
It wasn't my intention to use you, Sophia. You snuck into the lab that day, accidentally activated the robot, and it fell in love with you. James saw that as an opportunity to see how the robot would interact with a human, and I went along.
Are you saying I brought it all on myself?
No, I
literally told you everything. I even repeatedly asked you about Edward, and you didn't have the decency to tell the truth, and you want to blame it all on me? Was anything happening between us real? Do you even like me?
Sophia,
My heart was raging as I waited for his answer, when—
Nathan, do you see her? No, she didn't go this way. You should go. Let me handle James.
I ran away immediately, but as soon as I got home, I realized something. That was my one chance of confronting them for the way they treated me like an experiment. But instead, I just ran away like a coward. Stupid Sophia! Anyway, now that everything's out in the open, I don't have any further questions. It's true they lied to me, but those feelings came from my own heart. I can't blame anyone but myself for being typical gullible Soph. But even days later, I couldn't shake those feelings off. I was too sad to eat or drink.
Even thinking felt like a stab to my heart. I just didn't understand how Nathan could do this to me. Then I got a message from Gabriel. She was worried because I suddenly left the dinner that night and hadn't come back ever since. Oh, sweet Gabriel. She even asked if something was bothering me. She'd been nothing but nice to me. Even when everyone else had walked out of my life, from a robot to a real person. My parents didn't help either. They were never there for me. Gosh, if only I could tell her everything without troubling her. I sobbed myself to sleep. But the next day, a call from Gabriel woke me. I felt bad for ignoring her messages, so I ended up answering it.
Sophia, come over to my house. I have something very important to tell you.
I tried to ask her what it was, but she refused to say it on the phone. I agreed to go over there. So for the first time in days, I showered, dressed, and left the house. On arriving, I saw the car in the garage. When I went inside, I asked Gabriel about it, and she told me it was James's.
That boy has been locking himself up in his room for days. I was worried about him and wanted to know what was going on. But only when I asked about the robot did he tell me the truth about his project.
I'm listening, Gabriel.
I was so shocked to hear, and I bet you were too, right? James told me you had heard their whole conversation. I told James off for doing that to you. I apologize on his behalf. He's not a bad boy, but he's so passionate about his experiments that he overlooks the hurt it may cause. He has learned his lesson, especially now that the project is cancelled because that trainee Nathan has disappeared with the robot.
What? Nathan did what? But why? I thought he was only using me. Was there something that I didn't know? I called him right away, trying to figure out where he went, but it came straight to voicemail.
Is everything okay?
I reassured Gabriel, then asked her if I could talk to James. She agreed and led me up to his room. When he opened the door and saw me, he instantly slammed it shut. It was Gabriel who made him come out again, or he would be in big trouble.
You little devil! Who taught you such rude behavior?
Pfft, who would have thought that this dude was scared witless of his granny? Then Gabriel settled us down in the living room so that we could talk things out.
I'm really sorry for doing this to you, Sophia. You see, this is my life's work, and I've spent my entire youth on it. I just didn't expect Nathan to give up halfway through like that.
Aren't you afraid of hurting me when you say that?
You have every right to be, but I hope that you could see my side of the story, which I could imagine is what Nathan must have felt too. He used to have a vision about a robot that could help humans out in difficult situations, and could go to an extent of replacing them, and that got me intrigued. We were so dedicated to this project that when it was about to hit a dead end, we were devastated. But then you suddenly showed up and it started working smoothly. So we decided to keep on track of both of you and the robot to see how stable it is. But things changed when you started to have feelings for Edward, the robot, while Nathan developed feelings for you. That's when he doubted that this project was going to mess with people's feelings instead of helping them like you wanted. That's why he stole the robot and disappeared. He must have felt immense guilt for what he did to you. I didn't understand it back then, but Grandma's made me realize this was thoughtless of me. I looked at James and could tell that he seemed remorseful. Nathan told me to stop, but I was too cool-headed for that. I told him we were continuing. If he tried to stop me, then he'd be breaking the contract and have to pay compensation. So when he heard your wish to turn the robot into a real person, he appeared to make it up to you.
I couldn't believe that Nathan had done that for me. Yes, it was kind of messed up, but it was also kind of romantic. Then James told me how Nathan had not only left with the robot, but he'd also paid the compensation.
I'm bummed out about the robot, but it's a life lesson. You know, it's obvious Nathan's feelings for you are real.
It was a relief to have answers, but it was also sad. It felt so final, and even though I was still angry with Nathan, I wanted to see him again. If only he would zap into my room like Edward did in Twilight, I would definitely swoon. But it was time for me to stop daydreaming and move on. Well, almost. Everyone's allowed to dream, right? This love story may not have ended as happily as any of my romance books or movies, but it had given me new experiences. Love isn't perfect, but it made me evaluate what's important in life. Okay, so I was still single, but so what? I didn't need a boyfriend to be happy, and I didn't need to obsess about finding the perfect guy. I started focusing on myself and discovering new hobbies, made new friends, and I even told my parents how lonely I was feeling and how I missed having them around. They apologized for being neglectful, and even though traveling was part of their work, now when they're home, they make more effort to spend time with me. And even when they're away, they call and text me all the time. Also, I don't work for Gabriel anymore, but we're still great friends and I see her every day. 'Cause I'm now James's consultant. Surprise, huh? Beneath his thoughtless exterior, he's actually not so bad. I am helping him develop a new robot project as I happen to be an experienced robot expert. And under my supervision, the project would definitely not go wrong and mess with anyone's emotions anymore. As for Nathan, I hadn't heard or spoken to him since that day. I still think about him a lot, and I come here sometimes, to our special place. It's so peaceful, and I just let happy memories surround me. Then suddenly, I looked up and saw Nathan! I couldn't believe my eyes, but my body just moved subconsciously to give him a big hug. Sorry, but where have you been?
I was hoping one day I'd find you here. I'm sorry for making you a part of the project without your consent. That was unforgivable. But while watching you, I found myself falling for you. So I wanted to make your dreams a reality. I wanted to make Edward real for you.
You should have been honest with me.
I know. I handled things terribly. But believe it or not, the robot was made with good intentions. I was so lonely and I didn't want anyone to feel like that. But I'm not going to continue developing the robot. I've realized that people need to find the courage to face their emotions. No matter how advanced robots are, they're missing something. A heart. I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And thank you for making me a better person.
Looking at him, I just knew he meant every word. You have lots of flaws, but your flaws make you, you. Not a robot, but a real human being. And I accept those flaws. Isn't that what love is?
Indeed. So, will you give this robot version 2 another chance?
Shut up and kiss me now.
Under the giant oak tree, a perfect springtime breeze. His face was just inches away from mine. Deep inside, I knew this was the moment. And just as he leaned in, wait, but I have a child! You what? Holy frogs! Did I just say I had a child? Before he could react, I did the only thing my mind could process. I ran, never once daring to look back. Because if there's one thing that really scares me, it's committing to a relationship. Want to know why? Stay with me as I take you through my story. But before that, please click like and subscribe. I'm Hazel. Yeah, with hazel brown hair, obviously. Can you believe I was just 5 years old when I went to my first nightclub? Yep, my dad was one of a kind.
Darling, are you dressed up for date night?
And he never changed. Ever.
Ready for date night, darling?
Dad, come on, this is your 129th date. And I'm old enough to stay home alone now, so please, just go.
Fine. But listen, no matter who I meet tonight, you're still my #1 girl, alright?
Dad wasn't lying. He dated N number of women, N number of times. But there's only one he's truly committed to. Me. But that made me feel guilty sometimes. Dad, why don't you try to get serious with someone? I know Mom left the moment I was born, but that doesn't mean you have to be single and sad with me your whole life.
Single and sad? Darling, relationships are sad. They just bring pain and tears. But now you're looking at the happiest man in the world. Woohoo!
And that stuck with me. I decided I was going to be happy doing whatever I wanted, however I wished. All was cool until one of Dad's dates, Laura, started messing things up.
Honey, I can't believe I never asked you this before, but would you like to go to school? You know, the real one with principals and desks.
No? Why, Dad? You don't want me at home anymore? Or is it because someone else doesn't want me here?
Darling, don't blame Laura. She just means well.
Then, just 10 days later, I found myself standing in the middle of a boring school, surrounded by a bunch of kids with different hairstyles and personalities. Out of nowhere, I felt a tap on my shoulder. A pretty girl standing alone in the middle of this school? You must be new here. Come, I'll show you around. I'm Minnie, by the way. Minnie and I spent the day hanging around the school. I knew she was going to be my first real friend, but I felt there was more to Minnie than what I saw. We laughed together, studied together, but she never told me about her family. Never. Not even where she lives. Are you close with your family? You never really mention them. It's complicated. Don't stress your beautiful brain with that. Oh, did you smile at the baseball captain, Mike? Now he's telling everyone that the new billionaire girl in school is his girlfriend. Really? That sounds interesting, but I'm not that interested in dating, though. The first few days were a breeze. I quickly became the most popular girl in school and was getting tons of proposals every new day. But then one day, Mike hit me with the biggest twist ever.
Hazel, at first I thought you were just passing by my life, but now I realize that you are my life. Would you be my partner for the annual winter dance next week?
Huh? You mean dancing? Sure, I love dancing. The moment I said it, the entire cafeteria erupted. Cheers, whispers, and gossip flying everywhere.
Wait, this wasn't like I accepted his love proposal. Or was it? Hazel, you did read the flyer I sent you about the annual winter dance rituals, right? No? Why? What rituals? It turned out that every pair in the dance that night was meant to be together until the end of school. Sounds romantic, right? Not for me. That night, I researched 100 polite ways to say no to someone, but nothing helped when I saw Mike face to face the next day.
So, when do we start rehearsing for the dance? I'm so excited, you know. When?
How about never? Well, that was only the first of my many breakups. As days went by, some even started calling me a heartbreaker, but that was fine. I just didn't want to complicate my otherwise fine life. But as time went by, one thing or the other tried to warn me that I was leading towards a miserable life. But I was not going to take it. My 16th birthday was going to be so lit. I had invited everyone at school and thought my house was not going to be enough to hold the crowd. But boy was I wrong. I walked down all dolled up, only to see Dad and Laura standing with a 10-tiered cake. None of the people I had expected turned up. Not even Minnie.
Hazel, honey, listen, this day is gonna be amazing, I promise.
I saw red and ran back to my room and slammed the door shut. Hey Hazel, wish you a happy birthday. I'm sorry I can't make it to your party. This is the first time I'm seeing my boyfriend's parents, so I couldn't say no. Hope you understand. Wow, now everybody has some important stuff in life, other than attending my party.
Are you okay, Hazel?
I am okay, alright? But she wouldn't take it. She had made up her mind that I was a lonely, depressed kid who needed to be taken care of. She handed me a wrapped box. I tore it open, expecting something remotely fun, but instead, a flute. Flute? I don't play the flute, though. Playing flute was one of the things that can make me feel at ease. You should give it a try. Laura sounded honest and emotional. Kind of made me see her differently. Before I could react, suddenly loud crackers burst from outside the window. Then I saw my name written in the sky. Oh my God! Is it? Yes, your dad. He loves you so much. We all do. Later that night, I was practicing my first broken tune when I heard a reply from outside, and it sounded so well trained. Who was playing? I opened the window, put on my slippers, and sneaked out. The deeper I went into the nearby woods, the louder the mysterious tune became. I must be getting close. But right after a few steps, my slippers slipped and I fell into a muddy puddle. So much for peace and flute. I struggled to get back on my feet when a hand reached out to me from the dark. Ah! Ghost!
Ah! You're a ghost?
No, what? I meant you. When I finally saw him clearly, I realized he was a boy my age, standing under the giant oak tree. Turned out he was Fen, a boy from the local tribe who lived on the other side of the wood. And apparently he was the one who played the flute. We did some talking, and I told him about my so-called birthday party. For the first time, someone actually paid attention.
Birthday, you say? Just wait here.
He left me and ran somewhere deep into the woods. Then suddenly, I heard loud twigs snap and footsteps approaching me. I was pit scared and closed my eyes tight. When I opened them, a bunch of little kids dressed like tribals stood around me with fruits and flowers.
Now this is how you celebrate a birthday.
He started playing his flute. Some played drums, and for what seemed like hours, we were all laughing and dancing like it was the best party ever. It was nearly dawn when Sven walked me back home. Thank you. Goodbye then?
Goodbye. And if you ever want to spend some time here, walk up to this mark and play your broken tune.
Rude, but fine. I'll come by.
Also, hey.
His crystal green eyes gazed into mine. My heart skipped a beat. Phew! What was it that I just felt? I no longer wished to explore that feeling, so I sprinted home. But I surely knew I was going back to his place very soon. The next day at school, I wasn't even that mad at Minnie when she apologized for missing my birthday bash. It's alright. Can't say it was a bad day after all. Oh my! Look at your face! Are you blushing? Gosh, no! You know me. Nothing serious. I did meet a nice boy, but I'm keeping it low-key for now. Nothing's official. You have to tell me everything later. Promise? I promise. A week passed, and one evening as I reached home, a big shock awaited.
We're getting married!
What in the world? My dad, the man who used to say commitment is hell, was gonna marry someone?
Hazel, look. You probably think I'm some witch who has come to separate you from your dad, but I'm not one. I really care for you. I love you and your dad. But if you don't want this, we won't go through with it, I swear.
Laura, you're nothing like the past women my dad dated. Whatever you did for Dad or me, it came from your heart. I trust you. Happy for you, old man. But remember, I'll always be your #1 girl. You better keep it to your heart.
Of course, darling. Of course.
Although I said yes, my heart was troubled, and I needed to vent. I went to call Minnie, but then I spotted my flute on the table. You know how a girl's heart works? I took my flute and went out to the woods. At first, there was nothing, just the rustling trees and my own echoing notes. But then I heard it, his perfect flute tune. As the song got louder and closer, my heart started beating faster.
Boo! Bet you didn't see this coming.
Oh, thank you. This is so nice. Well, today is full of surprises. I told him about my dad's wedding plan, and he was super excited. He even started sketching out the decor ideas.
That tree right there has some amazing pink flowers, perfect for a dreamy wedding.
Then he took me to a beautiful large tree that stood in the middle of the woods. He whistled, and suddenly 100 birds flew out of that tree, shedding tons of pretty pink flowers on us. Dreamy, I know! I twirled around like a happy kid, but I suddenly slipped. Luckily, Sven caught me just in time. In his arms, I felt my feet slipping and my mind racing. Well, it's official then. I'll tell my dad you'll do the wedding decor.
Sure, and hey, never think you're alone. I'm here. I'm so glad you came today.
That was sweet. If I stood there a minute longer, I'd hug him, so I smiled and walked away. Days passed. Sven and I had become super cool friends by then. We even built our own little wooden shed by our favorite tree. Maybe, just maybe, I was starting to fall for this guy. Dad's wedding day arrived. Everyone appreciated the decor Sven was doing in our garden. No one's gonna believe this is a small urban garden. Look straight out of the woods. Told ya, that's the magic of the guy you're about to meet. Sven! Sven?
Minnie?
Somebody tell me what's going on.
She's my twin sister.
Holy crabs! I was falling for my best friend's brother? I wished I could disappear into the air right then, but it was time for the wedding. Minnie and I stood quiet, a million questions burning inside. Was Minnie from a tribal background? Was that why she refused to speak about her whereabouts all along? I was in a Rich Go cover, okay? I wanted to blend in. You don't have to explain, Minnie. We're all past those silly misunderstandings. Maybe, but this has to stop.
What do you mean? Your rich friend's off limits to me now?
Not that, Sven. You don't know about her. No offense, Hazel, but I can't just stand by and watch you break my own brother's heart like you do with every other guy.
Minnie, she's nothing like you know of her.
You don't know what she'll do to you, Sven. Enough! Can't you take your sibling fight elsewhere? I need to leave. What a pretty mess I've fallen into. And worse, Sven was growing on me and I had just started feeling something that might lead to a true relationship. Now I must give that up for Minnie? Tears rolled down my eyes as I quickly slid through the dancing crowd straight into my room. Soon after, there was a knock. Not now, Dad! It's me, honey. Sorry, I saw you running and I had to break in. I don't know what got into me, but I just hugged her and cried my heart out. She felt like a mother I wish I had. After hearing everything, she had a perfect idea. You think that'll work? Sometimes, Hazel, the only way to know who's real is to test them. Her words echoed in my head, sounding so simple, so brave. But as I sat on my bed, phone in my hand and Minnie not answering, a knot of dread tightened in my chest. If she wouldn't pick up, maybe Sven would. Sven, I've made my decision. I need to go. I can't be the reason you and Minnie drift apart.
You can't leave. What about everything we built here? I'm sorry if this wasn't obvious before, but I really like you, Hazel. Please, I'll talk to Minnie.
I'm sorry, Sven, but it has to be this way. Minnie wasn't entirely wrong. I had broken many hearts in the past, so maybe this is what I deserve. Getting my heart broken. Just so you know, I liked you too. That's why I must go. He held my face, and we got so close to having a moment when it started raining. I got to my senses and backed away. I ran out of the woods, Sven following me.
Hazel, please don't hurt yourself like this.
I crossed the road to my house when suddenly a car screeched right behind me. Sven was in the middle of the road, staring blankly. I rushed to push him away. He fell on the other side as the car sped away. Well, I got some bruises in the process, but the best thing was I saved Sven. Sven and Minnie came to visit me, but this time Minnie didn't look guarded. She didn't look like someone trying to protect her brother from me. She looked like my best friend.
Well, that's a relief. Though I did bring these in case you still needed some convincing.
I think I'm already convinced. You two are annoyingly cute. I'm sorry I was such a jerk. Sven told me everything just now. You shouldn't leave. I can see that you have true feelings for him. It's all right, Minnie. I won't let you down. We all laughed, and for the first time in a long while, I truly believed in a love that was real. Even if messy, it was honest and quietly beautiful. It was just another fun voyage for Prince Arthur, the Prince of Havenmore. A prince so full of himself he believes the world exists to serve him.
Faster! You're too slow!
At Prince Arthur's urgent command, the crew sprang into action. Just as the ship began to move, a loud crash echoed. They had struck a massive hidden reef. Waves exploded against the hull, crashing over the deck with roaring fury. The once clear sky darkened instantly, turning into a stormy void as heavy rain poured down like a waterfall from the heavens.
Turn the ship around! Too late, my prince! We're sinking! Take the escape boat! No one gets left behind!
The crew and Arthur desperately clung to the swaying ship as it tilted dangerously, until a massive wave crashed over the deck, sweeping Arthur into the dark ocean.
Prince Arthur!
By morning, the gentle waves carried Arthur to a deserted island. From that moment on, life wasn't about to go his way. A long night at sea had left him unconscious, his breath faint and fragile. Out of nowhere, a wild boar appeared in front of Arthur, sniffing curiously at his face. Its sharp bristles brushed his skin, jolting him awake.
Monster!
He was unable to do anything but scream and flap his arms, hoping the boar would spare him. But before anything could happen, a pretty red-haired lady saved him. Even at that moment, Arthur couldn't help but notice her wild beauty. "Get lost, you stinking wild boar!" "Hey, are you all right?" Spoiled prince that he was, Arthur couldn't bring himself to say thanks.
I had it under control. You didn't have to interrupt.
Right. Just like you're handling the crabs on your ears.
Crabs? Ah! Crabs! Help! I'm under attack!
Diana burst into laughter and began pulling the crabs off Arthur with her bare hands.
Who are you? Where am I? And who's in charge?
Me. Here? Me. I'm Diana. My ship sank weeks ago. I'm guessing yours did too? It was then that his memories returned to him.
My men! The ship! Did you call for help?
Oh, I screamed a lot.
Maybe you didn't scream the right way. Help! Somebody help!
For hours, Arthur toiled and innovated new ways to be saved, and Diana entertained herself watching him. She knew none of it would work on this godforsaken island. Maybe save your strength for survival? We should find food.
We? You mean me finding food? Do you know who I am?
A man who just washed up like seaweed?
I am Prince Arthur Smicklericles V, soon to be King of Havenmore. And you are? A pirate, I presume.
Diana. Just Diana.
I can see from your appearance that you're a lowly pirate, and therefore ignorant of the ways of the world.
I'm the ignorant one?
I shall forgive you for not knowing your place.
Instead of falling at his feet and thanking him for his mercy, Diana laughed, loud, unapologetic, and deeply amused.
Yes, you're right.
I am a pirate. I rule the sea. You rule Havenmore. This isn't Havenmore. You can find your own dinner, Lord Fancy Pants. Arthur's jaw dropped. He couldn't believe Diana's guts. No one, absolutely no one, had spoken to him that way. Hours later, Diana returned with food. For some royally deluded reason, Arthur believes that the food was his.
Such an obedient subject. Did you prepare this meal for me?
It's not for you. If you want some, say please.
How dare you address me like that?
Okay, say please, Your Highness.
That's not what I meant!
Instead of serving him like he believed she should have, she began stuffing her face with food, making Arthur really angry.
If you think I'll beg, you'll be sorely disappointed.
Why would I be disappointed? This stuff tastes great. Starving Arthur watched the food disappear bite by bite. Last chance for the magic word.
Never.
In response to Arthur's reaction, Diana simply smiled and calmly enjoyed the food that she had just gathered. For the first time in his life, Arthur was not treated with reverence. It struck the very limit of his royal pride. He was determined to show her who's boss. The moment he noticed her picking sticks, he sprang up and began to pick his, determined to do whatever she was doing better.
It's mine!
Why don't we just put the sticks together and share the fire?
A fire? I thought you were building a fort.
A fort with twigs?
If you need fire, find your own sticks. This one's mine.
Arthur did secure the stick, but had no idea what to do next. When night came, Arthur watched in amazement and some jealousy as Diana lit her fire by rubbing 2 small stones. But Arthur had 0 chance of lighting anything. How do you expect to start a fire like that? Just share mine. We'll use your wood so it lasts longer. Arthur couldn't believe she was willing to share after their fight. For the first time in his life, he felt something strange. Shame.
Thank you.
Consider it my apology for letting you starve. Arthur was touched. Maybe he had been wrong about pirates, but all too soon he ruined the mood.
So, how does a pretty lady such as yourself become a thief? Pirates?
A thief? Just because I'm wearing pirate clothes? Do you always judge people by what they wear?
To be honest,
Before another argument could start, a voice rang out over the wind. Someone's coming. They huddled closer, hearts pounding. A sudden gust blew their fire out. Ah! Gah!
Calm down, girls. I won't hurt you. Who's there? The name's James, miladies. Beg your pardon. I thought you were both ladies. We got stranded here after a shipwreck. I'm Arthur, and this is Diana. She's quite been stuck here for months. Best follow me. Another storm's brewing.
At that very moment, Arthur and Diana placed their full trust in this strange man. Without hesitation, they followed him as he led them to a clearing, where he had his small tent, grateful for the warmth. A minute later, James returned with some roasted fish in his hands. As the fragrant grilled fish was placed in front of Arthur, he immediately slipped into an oddly noble dining mood. With exaggerated elegance, he began to eat.
He always eats this fancy?
I think so. We only met today.
So you're not a couple?
Heavens, no. Have you ever tried to leave?
I've built many rafts. The sea is against us. Only a sturdy ship can sail here. And who's coming to save the likes of us, eh?
Suddenly, the wind picked up. Arthur wrapped his arms around himself while Diana shivered from the cold. The fire was nearly out.
It's gonna be a cold one. I'll make a shelter for Diana. You're a man. Need me to make yours, too.
Arthur's eyebrows twitched in annoyance as he watched James deliberately flex his muscles for Diana. James's shameless flirting annoyed him, though he wasn't sure why. He just knew he didn't like James.
I shall make my own tent from nature's offerings.
Then they both began setting up their own tents. James moved with ease, arranging everything skillfully and finishing Diana's tent in no time. Arthur, on the other hand, struggled from the start, and his final result looked more like a pile of tangled sticks than a proper shelter. Just ask him to help you too. It's obvious you've never done this before.
I would rather kiss a wild boar.
I think I could arrange that. Arthur suddenly wasn't thinking about kissing boars anymore, but her. Though it was a bit of a struggle, Arthur finally had a tent. It was wobbly, but it was his, something he made with his own hands for the first time.
Ta-da! I shall call you the Bayside Manor of Magnificence.
As if to mock him, another strong gust of wind picked up and sent his tent flying far away.
More like Manor of Misery. Sorry, mate. Milady, see you in the morning. Maybe I'm not cut out for survival. Maybe I'm destined to freeze to death.
You're not dying. Just let go of your pride.
Diana, may I share your tent with you, please?
Bravo! Saying the magic words wasn't so hard, was it? Arthur was surprised at how good it felt to say please. He was learning a lot from her. The cold inside was just as cruel as outside, but for now they focused on something else. Sorry for yelling back then, but I'm not a pirate. I was found in a shipwreck as a baby and raised by them. They were my family, but now they're gone.
I'm so sorry. I should not have judged you.
Arthur's heart went out to her, and he learned another lesson. Making assumptions about people was just wrong.
Maybe it's time for a new start. When we escape here, you could live at my palace. I want to learn from you, to do things myself. Thanks to you, I see I'm just a little above a spoiled prince.
Their eyes met, holding for a moment, almost as if they might kiss, before Diana turned away. I guess I'm a little sleepy. Watching her sleep, he realized then he had fallen for her. She didn't care that he was a prince, and she made him want to be a better man. However, the spark that had just begun between them quickly faded by the next morning. A distant whistle pierced the air, jolting Arthur and Diana awake. They crawled out of the tent to see James rushing toward them. What's going on?
There's a ship! A princess! Sailors! I didn't know you were the prince! Forgive me, your highness! Never mind all that. Come on, we're going home.
And then Arthur gently took Diana's hand, and together they walked toward the ships, waiting in the distance. Upon reaching the beach, Arthur instantly recognized the pretty blonde leading the rescue team. His heart sank. Prince Arthur!
You know her? She's Camilla. Just a friend.
He couldn't bring himself to tell Diana that Camilla was his fiancée. Their betrothal had been arranged when they were 8. He had planned to end it because he didn't love her, until the storm hit.
Mwah! I'm so happy to see you alive. Everything's okay now. Your betrothed is here.
Diana's glare burned into Arthur, but he couldn't bring himself to meet her eyes. All through their journey home, Camilla clung to Arthur, and he didn't get a chance to talk to Diana. He didn't even have an idea of how to fix the mess he was in. But once they reached shore, he finally found the courage to face Diana, because he knew just how much she meant to his life.
Diana, don't go!
You said she's just a friend!
I was on my way to see her and end the engagement before the shipwreck.
Why am I even crying? We've only known each other for, what, a day?
A day. A lifetime. What does it matter? I'm a prince. I know what I want, and it's you.
It seemed Arthur had truly moved Diana's heart. She agreed to give him a chance to make things right,
and to give them a chance to be together. And so Diana agreed to stay at the palace under the guise of Arthur's servant, a safe mask to keep her by his side without drawing unwanted attention. But Camilla wasn't too happy about it. Servants don't sit at their master's table.
She saved my life, Camilla.
That's her job. Hey, redhead, I need more syrup.
Camilla, the syrup is right in front of you.
Oh, I'm happy to serve. She grabbed the syrup and poured the entire bottle over Camilla's pancakes, proving she wasn't someone to be pushed around. Stop! Stop, you peasant! You didn't say when. You uncouth imbecile! How dare you!
Perhaps extra syrup is extra good.
You! I'll deal with you later. For days, Camilla acted as if nothing had happened, which only made Arthur more suspicious. He didn't know how to tell her he was breaking up with her yet, but he knew one thing. Diana needed to be on guard. In the meantime, Arthur and Diana enjoyed sneaking out to the garden at night, unaware of the envious eyes watching them and planning something utterly cruel. One night, Arthur was ready to take things to the next level.
I want to show you something.
He led Diana to the portrait of the late king and queen, then revealed a hidden chamber behind it, one that held the most treasured crown of the kingdom.
This crown, made by my great-great-grandfather, is only worn by the queen.
It's so beautiful, but why show me this?
Because I choose you as my queen, if you'll have me.
In response, Diana leaned in and gave him a peck, making Arthur melt.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll tell Camilla it's over tomorrow.
Good luck, Lord Fancy Pants. The next day, after breakfast, Arthur finally told the truth to Camilla, about the engagement that should have never been, and about the one person he truly loved, Diana. Your parents chose me! Marrying me would secure your position and help you ascend the throne! You'd throw that away for a pirate girl?
I care about you, but only as a sister. This engagement is something I never wanted.
What will the kingdom say when their future queen is a fief?
She's not a fief. How can I make it up to you?
Your mother's crown. I had always imagined wearing it. Let me see it once more.
It was a strange request, but Arthur was eager to have her gone, so he agreed. But when he opened the safe, the crown! It's gone!
But no one can access the code without knowing the code. Are you sure you haven't accidentally shown anyone?
Arthur's thoughts flew to Diana. She had seen him dial in the code. He doubted it was her, but he had to be sure. Guards! Bring Diana to the throne room! In minutes, the guards dragged Diana in.
What is this? Why am I being treated like a thief?
The crown is missing.
You know I didn't. You have to be sure, my prince. Guards, search her bag!
No, wait! Before he could stop them, they had her bag turned upside down and the crown fell out.
Thief! Just what I'd expect from a pirate.
It was like Arthur had been stabbed in the chest 100 times. He couldn't believe it.
This is a setup!
But at that time, the evidence seemed clear. Guards, take her away.
Arthur, please! Why couldn't you believe me?
And just like that, Diana was taken away from the palace. Deep down, Arthur truly wanted to believe Diana wasn't the one who did it. Even with Diana gone, Arthur still refused to marry Camilla, so she had to go. For days, Arthur wasn't himself. He barely ate, didn't shave. His mind was consumed by Diana. She had hurt him, but he still longed for her. His relief came when James, whom he had now employed as one of his guards, made an unexpected confession. Diana is innocent. Camilla knew the safe's code. She was jealous. She made me plant the crown in Diana's bag. Please, forgive me. You betrayed her? I thought if she left, she'd come to me, but she only ever had eyes for you. In that moment, the truth was revealed. All Arthur wanted was to see Diana again. Guards, prepare to depart at once! Diana stood on the deck, her gaze lost in the distance. Suddenly, loud sounds echoed from the shore, and for a moment, she thought she heard someone calling her name. Diana! Come to arrest me? It was Camilla. She set you up with James's help. He spoke up to prove your innocence. Wow, shock of the century. I'm sorry. I should have trusted you, fought for you. I should have done so many things, but I trust you now, with my life. And if you can forgive me... Diana gasped in surprise as Arthur went down on his knees with a ring. Then I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. Rise, my Prince Arthur.
Make me.
And so, kneeling on the filthy docks of Havenmore, Prince Arthur Smicklericles V found something greater than a throne, a soulmate to stand by him for life.